everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, the podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going good, bro.
A bro. It sounds better. I don't know, it sounds like I went deeper there, bro. How are you doing on this late recording day that we're doing today?
Yeah. So normally, we'd be like close to wrapping up.
Yeah.
And a little bit of me that doesn't eat my beard
Okay.
was like, a bit of me was like, it'll be a later show, but because it'll be our first podcast, it'll still be fresh, and I've been chilling out all day. Nah, I'm knackered already.
Nah, you know what? I think there's something about waking up in the morning, getting the couple of hours of, refresh time, eat something, drink something like that gets you ready for this show, gets us fired and amped. I don't know if this is going to be a test.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get to feel the energy and then we get rolling and whatnot. But as of starting right now, I feel quite drained.
I'm at a solid 6 for energy. And normally we're at like a 9 or a 10. Like, I'm ready. We got 7 hours of recording ahead of us. No worries.
If this turns out to be terrible, feel free to unpledge from Patreon, everyone.
Whoa, hold on.
Whoa, the suit steps in. Hold on a second. Yeah, for those guys that didn't know, we had to change our recording time. Some things happened in life. I'm sorry about that. We also had to move around. Well, we moved around everything. Everything's getting screwed up right now. But we're still serving our patrons. We're still serving you guys with a True Gamer Podcast right here, because nothing will stop that. I will say, one bloody blessing that's happened from this whole thing. Normally, because whenever we do the True Gamer Podcast, somehow Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo all get the memo, and they're like, guys, wait. Yep,
they've stopped recording.
They've just wrapped up. Release the news, guys.
Yeah.
And that happened again today.
Yeah.
However, we're recording later, so we got fresh stuff here. Fresh off of the presses, which is going to be fantastic. So
brand new for us.
For once, that's worked. When that happened, I was like, maybe we should record later. But judging how we feel, I don't know.
I think we'll warm up.
Yeah.
But I don't want to start this late if we can help it.
Bro. Yeah. Speaking of
losers.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of being warmed up by people.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say things that tire us out. Things that are a drain on my day-to-day life.
Yes, continue. Yes, those people.
Those incredible people over on patreon.com/Conbrosations that make this whole thing happen. Not this show, the whole thing happen. Our super bros.
Yes.
Over on patreon.com/Conbrosations. Who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Carol Torivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger who was in What If's episode today.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Jeremy Renner, you're fantastic. You managed to pay us and also be in What If. It's so great. I guess that Disney paid for us then. Disney money is in our pocket.
Mate, if we're getting Disney money.
We're getting Disney money. The Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Star Wars Encyclopedia Adam Sunling, Filthy FIFA Fanatic Joe McCormack, My Juicy Left Nut, the Super Sexy Producer Sean, Big Boy Billy, and Kevin, the #1 simp.
No, the joke's
ruined it. No, we can't even do the pause now.
It's coming.
Of Xbox. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here at Conbrosations.
The worst bit.
Blame Sheps. Blame Sheps.
I was going to rinse you for messing up Joe's name. And I was going to be like, that's all, folks. I was going to do a whole bit. and I'm the butt of the joke.
Oh God! Oh my, that's a good way to.
Anyway,
start
man, how you been? What you been playing,
bro? I've been actually pretty good. When I say pretty good, I'm pretty good in the fact that I've got to play lots of games.
Yeah.
However, there is one game that I wanted to play that I actually hate that I missed out on.
Wait, you hate the game, or you hate that you missed the game?
I missed it.
Okay.
So I've been playing more Keanu Bridge of Spirits. Yep. Still loving that game. Still brutally hard whenever it gets to a boss. Like in between, it's a little cute thing. Oh, there's a flower. Oh, there's lights. And then brutally hard Dark Souls. Right. I'm fucking crazy. And I have been playing Death Stranding again.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Oh. My Jeebus.
Can I ask you a question?
I have fallen in love all over again.
Is it different, or is it just a PS? Is it not just, but is it a PS5 upgrade and it's the same game you love, but it's even better, even more?
This is the weird thing.
Right.
So they've obviously updated the visuals. They've added the DualSense support, which is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
They've added. They've also added some like new mechanics in there. So you've got this jetpack as well that you can use. So you can jump like entire ravines and stuff like that.
That's cool. That's definitely new.
Exactly,
Yeah.
traversing way better. There's a little robot legs that you can jump on the back of and have it walk for you rather than you walk.
Can you do that before? Or there was one where you could get like just the torso and carry your bags.
It would carry your bags, exactly. You can do, and there's also some sort of like a cannon where you can
Do you know
launch.
what? That's so shit because you actually have cars and bikes and stuff. So why would you get... Anyway, a cannon.
And then you have a cannon that can launch your cargo to a certain area, so you don't have to carry it up most of the way.
Right.
So then you can like go to that area, pick it up, and then you don't have to worry about like balancing half of that journey and whatnot. Stuff like that. So there are differences, but strangely, they've also changed parts of the map.
Okay.
So I don't know if they maybe got data on like the routes that people used to take or something like that,
Right.
and they've made differences in the routes. Some of them odd. Some of them are like, okay, the peak of this one particular mountain has a more better looking shape to it. I've seen like side by side screenshots, and it's like one's just a normal square like that, and then they go, there's like a rock and a peak and stuff like that. I'm like, maybe they thought it looked bad or something like that.
Yeah.
But then there's also some paths where they put more growth to make it look more natural. The water looks unbelievable in this
We
game.
don't even have to talk about looks. The game on PS4, when did it come out? 2019. 2019.
Yeah.
Was gorgeous.
Right.
On a PS5, I'm assuming you're playing it on the...
PS5, and the thing is, it has two modes as well. It has the quality and the performance mode. The quality mode dips to around about like 52 frames per second.
No.
I know, it's awful, right? Awful. I've decided to go for that because I feel like the quality mode is so good, like the full native 4K. The frame rate drops a little bit, but I don't notice anything, especially because the frame blending has always been so good.
Oh my god, the frame blending on those games from about 2018 to 2020, absolutely incredible. Where you really just, I mean, when you're playing it in 60 FPS and go back, you can tell, but when you're playing it at the time, you can't.
Yeah.
And you're not going to really notice 8 frames per second. And in 4K, and it's not, like, I would argue a game where, not to always bring it up, but Ghost of Tsushima with the duels and stuff, like, you want the faster response. You need to see it. That you're looking for performance, right? Or first-person shooters. Yeah. But a game like this, it's 90% visuals and story.
Yeah.
It's not so much about the gameplay. It's
you don't
about
need Twitch response time. You're like, oh crap, I need to do a 360 and a no scope or something like that.
I think even I would go for, if it was like almost 60 FPS and fully 4K and stuff.
People that are out there, like Ben, Jack is playing it as well. Jack's playing it for the first time. Jack Nicholas, his real name.
His full legal name.
His full legal name. He's playing it for the first time, and he's loving it as well.
Good.
You can't tell a difference between the performance mode and the quality mode. That's how close it is.
It's also the wrong kind of game for you to notice a performance.
You're not supposed to be looking for that, really. Right. Anyway, I'm enjoying the hell out of it, and man, I'm glad I waited to play the upgrade, because there was a point where I was like, I want to replay Death Stranding, and then the rumors just dropped that there was going to be a director's cut. I was like, ooh, and then it announced, and it came out, and I'm glad I waited. I thought that there was a possibility that I wouldn't enjoy it as much because I know what's going to happen.
Right.
I'm enjoying it so much more. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm just loving it. I'm loving it so much.
I've been itching to play God of War for about a year.
Yeah.
But I know God of War 5 is coming soon. I refuse to play the best game ever made without the upgrade.
Yeah.
So, but I've been... The worst thing...
Fair.
The Filthy Thief fanatic, Joe McCormick himself, streamed God of War 4.
He did.
And he went in completely, never played it before, fully fresh. And it was cool getting to watch a guy just experience it for the first, everything fresh. And man, did that make me like really Jones to play that game.
I want to play this game.
Like you said, I know I'll be glad that I waited for the upgrade, but it hurts.
I bet it does. The only other game that I've been playing, and I don't want to actually update on this one, I'll wait till next week because I'll hopefully be completed it. Played Halo 2 on stream. So Halo 1 on stream. I got to the final mission. It's the one where you go back to the ship. Yeah. And I guess there's something going to happen there, something big. But loving the story so far. As I said, I'm going to wait till next week when I've completed it and I can really talk about it. But the thing that I really hate that I didn't get to play, that I missed out on, the Halo Infinite flight test.
Yeah.
I've seen so much footage of it and so many
good.
people saying it's amazing. And I'm like, I had it on my PC. I had it right there and I didn't play it because I was just too busy. I'm not going to miss this weekend. This weekend there's another beta going on. I will play it. Come hell or high water, sir, I will play this game.
The really frustrating thing for me is you're playing all this stuff in a disconnected way.
Yeah.
So like the OG Halos had the campaign, had co-op, had multiplayer. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure this multiplayer with the different... I've seen clips and stuff, the different movement mechanics and stuff from the OG Halo games. Those games are like 13 years old.
Yeah.
The newest one is 13 years old, right? Real Halo. I think it's okay to upgrade it a bit, give it a bit more dynamic. Also, you're playing a literal super soldier.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with him being able to like scale up walls and whatever, right?
Have you seen the clip of someone meant this as a joke and I thought it was funny. I just took it as a joke before anyone gets all fanboysy and whatnot. But someone was like, because they've got the grappling hook.
Yeah.
They grappled on like a top of a building and let go halfway and then grappled to another one, then grappled to another one, grappled to another one, and they were like, look, Spider-Man on Xbox. And I was like,
That's good. That's hilarious.
And I thought that was funny.
That is funny. But although they should definitely change the cooldown on that hook then.
I was going to say, because I heard it was a consumable, but...
Oh, okay. Well, if it's consumable, maybe that's
But the thing is that the guy didn't collect anything while he was doing it. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
However... It does speak to one thing that I think is really cool. If you can nail the physics in a game like that, where you can just feel the instinct of how to do it and do that in the air, that's a sign of a good game.
I tend to agree with you.
I'll get to try it myself this weekend, and I'm so annoyed I missed it because I saw all the clips and everyone was fucking having fun. And I was like,
that's the thing. Everybody was having fun, and I think people are going to misunderstand my huge hate on 343 for one, ruining 2 whole games, besmirching the Master Chief's name, but also potentially like doing a really good game very dirty. We just like poor PR and stuff. And I hope the multiplayer is good, but it should come, if you're gonna put the Halo name to it, it should come with multiplayer. It should come, not multiplayer, co-op. Multiplayer co-op. And it should come with a campaign. That's the game that you set out to make. It bugs me. I hope it's great though. I'd love to see it go back to like leading the way in MLG and stuff. Like that would be cool. And great. Xbox desperately needs it.
Oh yes.
But I hope it's good. I really do.
Oh man, what have you been playing, bro? Have you been playing anything? Ghost of Tsushima? Yeah.
Do you know what? First of all, how dare you?
Did you see the meme I posted of you and Ben Affleck?
I did see it. Do you know what's funny is I've had Kenna, and I'm never calling it Kina. And also, by the way, she calls herself
Kana.
Kana.
Yeah.
Also, she calls herself. It's slightly different to the way they've been saying it as well. Anyway, so I've had that, and I'm like, oh, I should play this. And I sat down this morning because I had a bit of free time because normally we'd be recording. And I sat down and I booted up my PS5. And I was this close to booting up Ghost of Tsushima because I was like, you know what, I'll just finish up some stuff and then I'll play Ken. I was like, no, actually play it. And then I did actually play. I did play Kenna.
We've broken the curse. We've broken the cycle.
And one of the things I'm somewhat enjoying is that it seems, relatively speaking, quite linear.
Yeah.
I was very appreciative of, like, when I'm about 2 hours in. We have to go to Rufus or something, the dude up the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
A few hours in. When you find those kids and you get to like the first little village, I was super appreciative that you cannot go any further. You are completely blocked off. Otherwise, guess what? I would have explored the map. Because I found everything that's in that village, by the way. I found my
Scanned
first...
it head to toe.
Yeah, and not like because I was looking for it, but because I was not going to go the way I'm told to go.
So, go this way.
No. So I found I got to experience the first cursed chest. I found that spiritual mail and delivered it to the house next door, all that stuff.
I haven't delivered one spiritual mail yet.
What was I going to do? Go and do the main mission?
I saw it and I was like, I didn't open up this game to be a mailman.
Right.
I didn't open this game to be Postman Pat. I'm fucking to be Kenna, bruv.
One of the things that one of the things that I was really impressed with, then realized it was my mistake, was I explored everything and then went and found like this old dude who gives you the mask for the brother.
Yeah.
And then came back and unlocked the door. And I was like, wow, it knew that I needed this before I've encountered the door. And then I realized you're probably supposed to talk to the kids who send you to get the mask and then come back. Mm-hmm. But I was just exploring and found it. So, but you know, but it's fairly linear and it doesn't seem too big. So I'll probably have it finished in the next like week or two.
I fucking love the way you play games. It's both hilarious and infuriating.
I think some people think it's a joke.
No, it's not. Trust me, guys, it's not. Like, the time we played Spider-Man on stream, and you intentionally fucked up the intro, that's on purpose.
That was on purpose. That was specifically to annoy you and everyone watching. I would never do that if I was playing the game.
This side quest stuff is an actual disability. It's an illness that he is registered with the government. He's got his own like disabled badge.
Yeah, my parking is great. Yeah.
Oh god.
Talking of people that know how to play games properly,
yes,
like myself,
yes.
Is there anybody we need to mention?
Probably
not.
Nah, fuck 'em, who cares? Before we do that, guys, this is the True Gamer Podcast, coming to your eyes and ears every Saturday here on YouTube.com.
Just search for the True Gamer Podcast. Just Google it. Search for
and on podcast services around the world. If you also search for True Gamer Podcast over there. If you're here on YouTube and you like what we do, there's a way you can support us, which is by hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button, hitting that notification bell for saying notifications once every fortnight.
As a mod of our channel, this is a real beef, YouTube. I know when they're happening.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually one of the guys scheduling them. I've had notifications 3 days late, and I set them to all because it's my channel. I want to be there.
Yeah.
I also want to check if we're getting notifications. But sometimes you'll be updated about a video.
Sometimes.
And sometimes it'll also make its way to your sub box. So if you're interested in maybe sometimes getting our content,
guaranteed you won't even get spammed on this stuff because facts right there. Yeah, do that. If you're listening on podcast services, places like Apple, you can rate us 5 stars because it actually really helps us out.
It does.
Helps us climb those rankings and lets everybody else know about the True Gamer Podcast and the great gaming that goes on over here. If you guys love us, if you guys really want to take your support that extra step, that extra mile, you can head over to patreon.com/Conbrosations and kick us a couple of bucks a month where you can get the Conbrosations podcast for just $1 a month, our unfiltered podcast where we talk about anything and everything. You can get the True Gamer Plus show, which is a supplement to this show where we talk about game. What I talk about gaming.
Yeah, what's this wee
like
nonsense?
I made it specifically so we don't have to hang
nonce.
You can get that. And if you go to the $5 tier, the True Gamer tier, you get your name read out and also you get this show early, the day that we record it.
That's right.
So that's really awesome over there. And also other tiers, you can go check those out.
There's a bunch of stuff on there. Yeah. So look, join over 50 patrons over on patreon.com/Conbrosations. Talking of the True Gamers.
We have True Gamers to thank for their beautiful support.
That's right.
Those fine, sexy people. And those people are Jeremy Horde, Sheps' Crusty Right Nut, Catsper Coral, Isak Manny, Record Friction, Tobias Forge, please release the new Ghost album, Sincerely Adam, Kevin Crow, Super Whale Ben, Joe McCormack, GC Nightwalker, Diogo, Jack Nicholas, that's actually his real name.
Legal name.
Exactly. Billy, you absolute thithering thothage, aka Zacchino. I'm sick. I'm a sick fuck I like a quick fuck. It's a lyric, I think. That one.
I think so.
Yeah, right there. Eddie, fix your fence. I fixed it. Jesus Christ, did you not see on day 69? I fixed it.
Part of it.
I knew that from the beginning. Everyone was waiting. Vanda, Fishy, The Jackal, Max H, Cobra SS, and Albie Scory. Thank you guys so much for supporting the bros, keeping the lights and mics on, and the gaming going here at Conbrosations.
Talking to gaming and people that support us.
Yes.
Because Billy, big boy Billy himself.
Yes.
Hopefully that was a big audio spike. One, thank you very much.
Yeah.
But what I really wanted to say was we stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Conbrosations, sometimes. And I freaking love the culture that we've got on the Twitch streams.
Yeah.
But I find it personally very, very funny how personally Billy and Sean are taking the sub war.
They're like, I will be anointed king. It's like,
Right.
no, I will be anointed king.
As if there's a real crown, which maybe, if you donate enough, there will be a real crown.
Did you see what happened? You didn't see what happened in my last... No, you did.
I
in my
caught
last
some of
Halo
it.
stream.
Yeah.
Everyone just decided we're just going to speak Dutch.
I did see that. And not just Dutch, just all other languages.
And all other languages. And then you gave a great suggestion. You were like, fuck it. If they're not going to speak English, you just do the commentary in Turkish blood.
That
and
was
like,
so
that's
funny.
it, bruv. And everyone's like, what is going on?
It was... What's so funny is it was... Like, I had no idea what you're saying, but I know what you're saying. You know, because I know... We've known each other for, like, what, 13 years or something. It's an age. Yeah. And so I don't know what you're saying, but I know what you're getting at. And hearing it in Turkish, I don't know why, but it's hilarious. It's the funniest thing. Also, because you're in the library, which back in OG Halo, like the library, I think you noticed this in the old Halo, that for the Halo workings, it's just rinse and repeat, copy pasta stuff. So the library is a freaking maze.
Yeah, it is.
And
didn't know where the fuck I was going.
Back in the day, me playing that at like 11 or whatever on Legendary for the first time ever, and I bumped into Flood, like the freaking zombies, and I'm not expecting zombies, I'm expecting aliens, so I'm bricking it. and it was so hard to turn up brightness on like those old CRTVs. Like the CRTV would get brighter, but you couldn't see more.
It didn't add more any detail.
Right, you know what I'm talking about.
It wasn't the game brightness.
Most of you guys don't know. Basically, it would just add energy output, but you couldn't see more.
Yeah.
And oh god, the library was so tough.
Yeah. Regardless, it was a great fun stream.
Good.
Even after we just pretend like we didn't just go on a little tangent.
Yes,
So remember. So after I read out the names, if you guys, however, don't want to support us over on Patreon,
that's right.
There's no problem at all, guys. We love you. We respect you. We respect your time. Just being here, liking the video, giving us the 5 stars, and comments down below.
Yeah,
those are all great ways you can support us. Thank you so much for being here. We love you.
Talking to comments down below.
Yes.
My favorite segment that never gets forgotten.
No, never. No.
It's you can count on it. There are 3 things they say in the world. You can count on death, taxes, and correcting Conbrosations. That's what they say.
Every single week you can count on those 3.
And never missed one.
Never missed one.
If you're new around here, which probably not, if you are, we're idiots and on the internet. And we've never let facts get in the way of a strongly held belief. So because we are so stupid, we'll often say something that may not be exactly right. You know, it's like 99.7. You know? It's like it's close enough, but it's like, you could be corrected just a little bit.
It's negligible. It's like, you might as well forget about it. That's the word right there.
But if you do feel the need to correct that tiny little misconception there, you can drop it in the comments of this video, which does 2 things. 1, we'll read it out on the next show, and 2, it's our way to try and abuse the YouTube algorithm because, like, why not, innit? But genuinely, it has become one of my favorites, which is why I never forget it.
Yeah.
It's why I never forget it. What corrections do we have?
We have corrections. I remember this isn't from 1 week ago.
That's right.
Just so you guys know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go.
Oh, my
Here's
God.
a big one from Jeff Shrooms.
The freaking essay.
Freaking Jeff. He goes, it isn't confirmed if Venom is the villain, actually. And the trailer suggests they might be on the same side against Kraven. I think it has been confirmed, but I get what you mean, because eventually teaming up with Venom to fight Kraven is a thing and whatnot. Okay. Also, Peter needed the Iron Spider suit to keep on the same level as Miles, because Miles' electricity powers and invisibility skills make him OG. I think he means OP.
Oh, yeah.
Makes OG Peter look like a skeet.
Right.
True. Secondly, Sucker Punch... We do this every time. Sucker Punch did Infamous, not Insomniac. Insomniac did The Resistance, folks. How many times have we done this already?
Listen, just because you can't keep your company straight doesn't mean that we can't.
Exactly.
Because we get this right every single time.
Maybe just to make things easier, Sucker Punch and Insomniac should just switch. Just to make our lives easier, okay?
We are so dumb.
And lastly...
The worst thing is, they both make the same game functionally, which is swing around, power boost, fun, right? That's all they do.
That's the reason why. I remember when it came out, it's like, oh yeah, Insomniac is making Spider-Man. We're like, I would have thought Sucker Punch would have done it because of the Infamous background. Okay, no problem. And to this day, we cannot get it right.
They make the same game, okay?
Lastly, I bet everyone else is getting this wrong as well. Lastly, Sheps and Eddie, please try out Disco Elysium. He's told me about this as well.
What?
I know it's not your kind of game, but it's generally...
First of all, you don't know what our type of game is. How dare you?
Do you know that Sheps is into hentai Flash games? Did you know?
Everybody must.
Okay, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. I know it's not your kind of game, but it's great and worth giving a shot. If you try it, and it's not to your liking, then fine. But at least play through the intro, and if it doesn't hook you, then I give up. Snuck this into correcting conversations, hoping it will get read out. Maybe start the campaign. Hell, I'll even get it for you both, Ed and Sheps, for Ed's birthday soon. I'm also certain Sheps. Let me just make this larger because I'm blind. Also, I'm certain Sheps would relate to the protagonist as they're both utterly inept. What kind of human manages to miss their own mouth instead pour some soda all down their own cheek? Hope your trackpad is hella messed up now.
First of all, my trackpad is fine. It's good because unlike your weak electronics, it can handle a little bit of liquid. That's why I went for the Porno Pro.
It's got the layer built in, the semen resistance layer built in.
Right, so a little bit of Coca-Cola, that was, is not going to do anything. How dare you? How dare you? Also,
I've heard Disco Elysium's good, but I've never.
Well, I just googled it because I wasn't even looking for footage. I just want to know what it looks like, and the art looks interesting.
Yeah.
This is a dangerous precedent that you can just sneak in a freaking opinion into the correcting conversations. Disallowed.
Correcting conversation. Strike that from the record. Strike it from the record.
That's it. Sarah, just nix that. No go.
Thank you.
Delete.
Sean writes in, he says, both of you always think Insomniac made Infamous.
Yeah, they did.
It's quite annoying. Sucker Punch made Infamous. Idiotas.
Sucker Punch made Ghost of Tsushima. How are you going to go? Think about it. Don't be stupid. How are you going to go from Infamous to Ghost of Tsushima? Don't be ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
But think about it. Look, seriously. That was very Donald Trump-esque. Spider-Man, Infamous, they go hand in hand, right? Like obviously you're going to reuse the same assets. That's why we know Insomniac did that.
There you go. Guys.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Sean also writes in another correcting conversation. He says, Arcane Studios made Deathloop, not Bethesda.
That's what we said.
Bethesda is their publisher. Yeah, you know what we're talking about.
I feel like that's not even a correction.
That's not even a correction.
Just delete Sean.
Yeah, we're going to delete Sean from existence. Thank you very much.
What else we got?
Okay, Tate Combs says... Actual correcting conversations this time. Okay. Lol, he says. I feel like when he starts that way, it means it's not going to be an actual. We'll see.
I was like, he found an actual mistake that we made, something that wasn't correct.
We'll see. I don't know if you guys noticed, but you refer to Delsin Row when you're talking about Insomniac games and Traversal. Did everyone latched onto one thing? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Okay.
I feel like. Okay. It was a mistake, not a dick. Don't take it so hard. Seriously. Like, what the frick?
No, I love it because I bet some of them don't even know that the other ones wrote in. They're just correct conversations, write it down.
99% of people just write their comment in it.
And even if they did, I respect the savagery. They're just like, I'm going to pile on it.
Absolutely. Which is why, as much as I hate a bunch of the memes that have popped up in our community, I refuse to stop them. Speaking
of that, the last correcting conversation...
We will have to stop the talking in your native language. It has to be English. It has to be. Because not everyone speaks Croatian, bruv.
Eventually it's just going to be like, the other language, good joke. So what are we going to talk about? No, we can't talk about nothing. No. Speaking of memes...
What I'm looking forward to... I'm sorry, let me just get this one last bit out. Is people talking about stuff and putting it in spoiler tags, but it's in a different language. That's the level of evolution of these memes. I'm waiting for it.
In the last episode, I was looking to see if there was any correct conversations. It's just when there's a new Thor in town written over and over again by multiple people because that one meme that I made. So that's the end of my life.
Which was a great meme and didn't perform great, which is the worst thing is the meme was far more successful as savagery against you than it was as a meme.
Yeah, a meme. Yeah.
I hate it so much.
Tate Combs did write in with another one. He goes, correcting conversations. Eddie typed OnlyFans when in fact he was meant to spell OnlyFans. In the live chat, I wrote OnlyFans as I do because typos are my thing.
I say it's your computer that's wrong and it's tech issues. Back on brand.
Do you know what? I'm gonna say it right now. I was gonna leave this in the background.
I saw your tweet earlier about where did that extra "they" come from. My phone does the same thing. Random words.
Yeah, so it was a tweet to George, and I wrote spitting, but without the G at the end, right? And I was like, cool, but obviously it flagged it as an incorrect spelling, right? And I was like, it's there, I'm just going to tap it. I tapped it, hit the spitting button, and it inserted spitting into the middle of that word, didn't delete it, and then I pressed send, and it's like, spitting in, and I'm like, how does that make any sense? I'm going to say it's not always me. It's sometimes me. It's not always me. It's the phone sometimes.
That's right.
Okay, guys?
Facts.
All right. And that's correcting conversations, guys.
Spitting.
Right there. Bro, are you ready to talk some gaming?
Yes.
Guys, on today's show, topics will include the Last of Us Day disappointments, Phil Spencer being so generous and buying people PS5s.
Gaming.
The Initiative Xbox Game Studio asking for help on their first game from Crystal Dynamics.
What?
Strange one.
Okay.
And the real reason why God of War was delayed to 2022.
Before that, I have a topic I would like to talk about.
Go ahead.
Very briefly.
Go on.
That apparently Marvel's Avengers signed a deal with Xbox. Did you see this? That
the Game Pass thing I saw. Yeah, I saw they're on Game Pass now.
And I just... Xbox. Please, I actually want you to do well.
I love how they were like, this is the game we need to get. This is the game we need to get, guys.
You must see my tweet. Like, how is... PlayStation is dead. How can it compete with all these winners? Like, what are you doing?
As like a slap. It's like, Marvel's Avengers is now on Game Pass. Did you mean that as a flex?
Right. Weird flex, but no way.
All right, no problem.
That's not how you. No, that's not how you do that. Please tell me Marvel's Avengers paid you.
But the Spider-Man character's coming soon.
True.
Everyone get hyped. We're all back on board the Marvel. No,
definitely.
No. Let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with Christopher Judge.
Yep.
Going onto Twitter today.
That's right.
And letting everyone know of the real reason why God of War was delayed to 2022.
That's right. So before we get started, there was a huge call out last episode when we said we will not be talking about God of War for the foreseeable future until it comes out, because we've covered it a lot. There was a lot of news. We've been talking about it weekly. And a lot of people came out, they personally messaged us publicly and said, bro, please, whenever there's news, talk about God of War. So it's not us. It's not us. It's you. You asked for it. We only deliver the requests.
So, for those of you guys that didn't know, when God of War was first announced, it was just the logo. God of War Ragnarok is coming. Yeah. We didn't know what it was going to say. 2021. We was like, no way in hell is this game coming out in 2021.
And Corey kept saying it's coming 2021.
Exactly. And they had multiple opportunities to say no, and they had multiple opportunities to just say nothing, but they kept saying 2021. Yeah. And then, at one point, they just came out and they said, look, it's going to be 2022, guys. And we all said, all right, we all knew it. We was all prepared for this moment.
But
it's cool.
Strange. Why like fake delay? We never thought it was coming. It was a weird one.
And the thing is, they didn't give a reason. So it added more to the fuel of they just said 2021 so they can get people to buy a PlayStation.
Yeah, free hype.
It was like, we know what's going on here. We know what's going on here. It turns out, however, that isn't the case.
Yep.
So I am going to read directly from Christopher Judge's Twitter page. Fucking do his goddamn voice. It's too great. I'm going to read directly from his Twitter right here. And you guys can understand what's been going on here. So he goes, 100% in my feels right now. I need to be forthcoming. This has been approved by no one. So he's about to say something that's not been approved by anyone, just coming out with it. To the beloved fandom, Ragnarok was delayed because of me. August 2019, I couldn't walk. I had to have back surgery, both hips replaced, and knee surgery. They waited for me to rehab, he says. And then another tweet. Hold on, I've moved too fast.
It was a chain.
Unfortunately, he probably doesn't know how to use Twitter. He didn't put it in a thread. It's like separate tweets. Anyway, no threats. No. Who do you think you are? Nothing but love and support. And Sony Santa Monica has never said a word about the delay and what caused it. Studios are assholes, but this company from top to bottom should give us hope. What they did for the crew is way more than I can talk about. But I've said to all involved, it's not the classiest thing I've ever heard of about in the business. Everyone involved in the God of War franchise puts their hearts and souls into every frame you see. I want to thank everyone that has allowed me to play and laugh and love and cry without judgment, but with unconditional support and love in this thing, all of ours. That was what Christopher Judge came out today, completely unprompted, came out of nowhere.
Yep.
No one apparently told him to say this, and it seemed to take everyone else by surprise. Replies from like Cory Borlog and everything like that.
Yeah.
But this was the actual reason apparently why they delayed God of War, because they were just waiting for him to rehabilitate and do his thing to be able to play Kratos again. Amazing that we actually get some insight into this. Like, I'm quite pleased that they trusted the fans enough to be able to be honest and open with us, because normally that doesn't go well.
Not they. This is the thing. I think it's even better.
True.
I think it's even better, which is Sony Santa Monica were willing to bite the bullet and take all of the backlash because one of their actors needed to rehab. He had an injury, pretty freaking serious injury.
Both hips replaced, knee surgery, back surgery.
Massive. And they were like, well, he's our guy.
Yeah.
We wait. We'll have to delay. And never said a word about it and just said, we have to delay. We aren't ready.
That's the thing. They must have... Because whenever any sort of fandom happens...
That's how you do it.
Whenever there's a big franchise or something, there's always a group of people who are overly passionate about something. So you can imagine when the delay got announced, how many people were so annoyed. They were like, it's all because you... Cory Borlog, why aren't you doing this? Alana Pierce, famous, like she works now on the God of War team. People stupidly were like, oh, you got involved and then this happened. Right. Really dumb stuff. But there's all kinds of people that probably gave Corey hate, probably gave the rest of the team hate. Yeah. And they all just took it on the chin. Yeah. Yeah, we couldn't make it. We have had to delay. We can't. All while knowing that Sony Santa Monica aren't the game isn't ready. We'll bring it out when it's ready. And then Christopher Judge comes out and says, I guess he's feeling emotional or whatever at the time. And he's like, I just wanted to set the record straight. It wasn't them that weren't ready. It was me. And they would have just been silent about it and said, because, and this is how you know they are going to do well, is because if Christopher Judge isn't ready, then their team isn't ready. It doesn't matter what the delay is, their team is unready to complete the task. So we're not ready. Yeah. There was one thing, and I put this out in my tweet, although I didn't see anyone say this, which kind of restores my faith in humanity. I was immediately after I put out my tweet saying this shows like great character for like Sony Santa Monica one. I was like, before anyone says it, I'm sure someone's going to say, well, of course they waited for him. He's the main character. Yes, but the fact that they didn't say anything about it shows that they actually do have good character. Because they could have said anything, but they didn't. They didn't say, one of our actors is out of commission. They didn't say we're having trouble. No blame or anything like that. Right. We're having trouble with audio. We're having trouble recording stuff. None of that. Just we're not ready. And that is the whole of Sony Santa Monica thrown under the bus. Yeah. Throwing itself under the bus because one of its team, don't get me wrong, arguably the single most important person. Yep. But regardless, because, ultimately, if they really wanted to, they could have got a body double and just had him do the ADR. That's not uncommon. I was going to say, businesses, at the end of the day, they're businesses,
Yeah.
right? They will persevere. They will wade
Right.
through the wind, through the elements, whatever it needs to be to get through. They could have got him to do all his voices in bed.
Yeah.
And then that would have been something. And then got a body double to do all the acting afterwards.
I would bet money that a suit pitched that idea and Corey or someone said,
Eric Williams now working.
One, Christopher Judge is part of the team.
Yeah.
We don't make this game without Christopher Judge. He's going to do it all because he's part of the team.
Yeah.
But also we'll get a better performance if he's there. Yeah. So not just the product will be better, but he's part of the team.
Yeah.
The team is not ready to finish the game. That's the impression that I get. That's how I would run my, especially if it's Christopher Judge. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if it was a side character, you're not delaying the game, right?
It's like we appreciate everything that you do for us, everything you're doing in the game.
But it's the way in which they handled what the role was that was unable to complete the task, and which was we are going to have to delay.
Yeah.
They said nothing. They never said why. They didn't say, we're having bug issues, we're having audio issues, we're having actor issues, lines, recording, nothing.
No.
We're not ready.
They just took it on the chin and went for it.
Which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, really good it speaks to the work ethic at Sony Santa Monica Studios that, I mean, we already had them in high praise anyway, which is kind of dangerous after Cyberpunk and but we'll learn our lessons.
I feel like we won't though. I feel like I'm a hopeless romantic because I'm just fully giving myself deeply in love to Sony Santa Monica and to Naughty Dog because the last one was great. Oh, this one was great. Well, then they can't do any wrong.
They can't do any wrong. Open up my heart.
Right, and then I get Cyberpunk. Oh, man.
Anyway, that's really good. It's really refreshing that we get some honesty and whatnot, and it was great that he came out and he felt he was comfortable enough to say, and I'm great with the response from the community. I'm fucking proud to be a gamer today. That's one of those great moments.
It was cool. It was very cool.
Should we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, let's do it.
Our next topic.
God of War.
More God of War. No, it's not. In a crazy, unforeseen movement, PlayStation have acquired Bluepoint Games officially.
What crazy? No one could possibly have predicted that.
Ooh,
I didn't see that one coming.
This is brand new information.
I didn't see that one coming at all.
Whoa, this is unbelievable.
Well, move out of left field.
Didn't see this coming, guys. So today, literally like an hour before we went recording, Herman Hulse, PlayStation Studios, officially announced that Bluepoint Games is part of the team. What's really strange about this is that everyone saw this. For those of you guys that maybe didn't get the joke, is that PlayStation Japan 3 months ago, while announcing the Housemarque acquisition, posted a tweet saying "Welcome Housemarque," but the picture was "Welcome to PlayStation Studios Bluepoint Games."
Yeah, it was a mistake. Yeah,
and they were like, delete.
That was on. There's no works in the deal. Also,
Bluepoint Games. Who? I've never heard of them.
Bluepoint has had a pretty close relationship with PlayStation, especially in the last 3 years. I feel like we all kind of saw it coming for a few years.
Yeah.
So,
but that happened, and then they went completely silent. We was like, "What's going on?"
This is the most bait thing you could say.
And also, every event went by after that, and we're like, "So nothing happened."
Nothing.
And then on a random Thursday, they go, "Bluepoint Games is now part of the team."
There's been some pretty major events that they could have announced it at.
Yeah,
and I personally doubt that this has been far enough away from officially confirmed, paperwork signed, that they couldn't have done it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Right. And what's really funny is that I thought that maybe there's a reason why they're waiting. Maybe
I was in the same boat as you.
There's a game they're gonna announce with it. Maybe there's a partnership. Maybe there's a project they're getting. Announcement comes out, we're working together.
Yeah.
That's it. No games to announce.
See, my theory was Xbox was gonna purchase the game, and that's why until that paperwork was done, there was conflict of interest and all that stuff. Right. That's what I was toying with as an idea.
Right.
And I think the most important thing about this is for everybody to know that it really, literally is once we're done recording that all the news happens.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the important thing to take away from this.
And that's why we take a day off in the middle of the week to record, because the last time we did YouTube, the exact same stuff happened. So we picked a day that we were certain we would catch the news. They still do us over.
Yeah. But we got you this time, PlayStation.
Get fricked, PlayStation.
Herman Hulsker suck a dick. No, he's actually one of the best guys there. Jim Ryan, though, you can suck a dick. No problem. All right, so that's the news right there. They're officially in PlayStation Studios. PlayStation Studios continues to grow with great talent.
A shock to everybody.
Shock. Absolutely shocked. I even posted it on Twitter. I was like, oh my God, this is brand new information. Can you believe this? Tag Sony Japan. And I'm like, because that's
that's funny.
Tag PlayStation. Can you believe this, bro? What?
Crazy. No one saw this one coming. I think... I hope you guys find this as funny as we do, because it's freaking hilarious.
Us laughing.
It's just... I wish I knew who tweeted that.
Yeah.
Because I would be doing my Ghost of Tsushima constant tweeting about the Bluepoint acquisition to that one guy forever.
You know, if I could find the guy's personal Twitter account, I'd just tweet him the Kanye gif of like...
Yeah.
Just right there right now. Anyway, that's happened. If you're a fan of Bluepoint games, you've played Demon's Souls and whatnot, means more stuff like that. I don't know. Do you think they're going to work on their own project, or do you think it's going to be more remakes from them? PlayStation's got a rich history. They've got a lot of games they could remake.
PlayStation does have a rich history. There is a ton of back catalogue of games that would fit Bluepoint so well. The other side of that coin, it's not a negative. The other good side is double heads.
The double heads.
Right? Like, heads you get a good game, or heads you get a good game.
Yeah.
Is Sony are pretty used to saying, like, just make us something good.
Yes.
Like, pitch it. Is it good? Make it.
Sony while there is the rumor of the, what was it?
Even Sony Bend.
Yeah.
Oh, Bend, I should say.
Bend Studios, yeah. I was just going to say that they cancelled the Days Gone 2 pitch and whatnot. Allegedly, we don't officially know that, but we suspect.
Because it broke in segments. We heard they'd been denied a game and then moved on to another project.
And that's the thing, a brand new project, multiple teams have brand new IPs in the works. To greenlight that many things, I mean, it's possible they might give Bluepoint their own project as well.
Absolutely. But it could also well be that Bluepoint just wants to remake stuff.
Yeah. It might be their thing. They might be like, cool, we like this.
Exactly. It might well be not just the thing they're good at, but their passion to do.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of great games they could easily do. I'm not really a fan of roguelites. Seems that's all they frickin' do. But there's a bunch of cool games that either are roguelites and could do with an update, or are good and would work fine as a roguelite.
Give me a Resistance update. Give me a Resistance remaster, please.
It's never happening.
Please.
It's never happening.
Come on, no. Oh,
anyway, Sony now owns Bluepoint. We totally didn't see that one coming. No one called it.
Nah, so, do you know what Herman Holst, the funny fucking guy he is, underneath his tweet, he's like, I bet none of you guys saw this coming. Fucking love you.
Class
Herman
A
Holst
tweet right there. Good soup.
All right, guys. The next topic. It looks like Guerrilla Games might be making a Horizon multiplayer game.
Cool. I get it's factions. It's the Last of Us factions. You know, like, I just don't care about it.
Let me see if I can persuade you on this.
Okay, cool.
Basically, the information comes from Guerrilla's been posting for jobs, essentially posting for talent, looking for people who have multiplayer experience, especially in MMORPGs and stuff like that, and they're trying to build a team.
Oh, well, now I'm interested.
I was gonna say, it'll tickle your fancy, doesn't it?
I can never touch this though, because I have an addiction. Anybody that has ever been addicted to an MMORPG will know what I mean.
I would like to think that it would be a light MMORPG, but it is still an MMORPG. Like Destiny is a light MMORPG, but people can get sucked into that shit.
They do,
me included.
Do you also remember when we were playing Destiny? My big complaint was it wasn't hard enough.
Yeah,
you know, I was like, I want these stats to mean something. I want to have gear and have to choose between two epic bits. One gives me like plus 3% crit chance, the other one gives me like plus 15 agility, and I know in my head the conversion rate to agility to like armor piercing rounds or whatever is like I want that. I hate maths, but if it's in the game,
you might get it. So this is people have been putting a bunch of things together. So back in 2014, there was a picture that went up of a Horizon concept art, and it was one of these robo dinosaurs, and it had Aloy, and it had a bunch of other people in the picture, I'll see if I can put it up on the screen. And it had a bunch of other people in the picture.
Could you imagine 6v6 Aloys? Just Aloys.
Well, if it was all Aloy, it would be kind of confusing, right? And people were thinking, oh, maybe Horizon is going to be like a co-op style. Maybe there's going to be a co-op mode or something like that. Apparently, that was the intent at one point, but PlayStation said to them, it's not really going to be our thing, and decided to go for single player only. And apparently, it was going to be a part of Forbidden West, and they said, no, just stick to single player. And instead, the rumor is, sources say, that it's going to be a standalone thing.
Okay, that's
just Horizon.
Battle Royale.
Oh, not every... Come on, don't do this to me.
Do you know what I would like to see?
Go on.
Take the most desired thing about the game and the best concept within it, and then make it, say, like a PvP aspect, but it's 2v2, and the enemy teams don't ever actually interact with each other. They never exactly combat each other, but they go around doing PvE tasks and hinder each other, rather than actual PvP, say on like, I don't know, a 1-to-1 melee combat.
Sounds interesting.
Right, because no one would want, let's say 1v1, I don't know, call it duels, let's say.
No one
wants that kind of PvP. What they do want is PvE that hinders the others. I freaking hate it so much.
Everything comes back to God that goes to Tsushima.
It does. Worse, because you know what we're saying about all the news breaks today, and I swear we'll get back to this. So I forget which, but there's a new game that's just come out, and I think it's on the PS Plus or no, what's it called? The freaking
PlayStation Plus collection?
No. The other thing, PS Plus. That's the one. The new games.
Yeah, the monthly
things.
Yeah. PlayStation Plus.
Which is just a sword fighting free PvP. It's just 1v1. It's just 1v1 duels. Which, by the way, it seems incredibly popular. People seem to love it. And that dropped today, or the tweet about it coming out dropped today, and it got me heated.
Yeah.
Sorry, well, we finished with the...
We weren't slightly. So I was thinking, how do you feel possibly about the idea of a light MMORPG Horizon game? Because I actually think it's primed for it.
I think it could be quite good.
Because in terms of like the enemies, you've already made these like completely unique robot dinosaur things.
Yeah.
And with like all these MMORPGs, what you do is you get like a certain type of enemy for like the easier enemies, and then it scales up as you go into like a raid or something like that, or a strike mission, and at the end you've got this massive behemoth of a thing. It's perfect for this. I think you could have a serious raid where you have multiple bosses, have like those what they call the what's the T-Rex style thunder jaws at one point, and then at the end there's just this gigantic mess of a like octopus robot or something like that.
I'm interested now.
Now you're interested. I think this is primed for it. I think this could be a thing. And
it could be very good. Horizon has
so many different weapon types and stuff like that.
This actually is exactly the sort of thing I would want from Horizon, because it has no characters. You know, there's no single character that gets any, I don't know, let's say growth in the game. So this would be perfect for that.
There you go.
But Horizon does do a lot of things brilliantly. The world is gorgeous. The enemies are brilliant. There's a bunch of things
completely unique.
Yeah, and also because the idea is that it's organic simulating robots.
Oh, my leg. Sorry, I was like that for too long, and now my leg killed me. Oh, it hurts. Okay, sorry.
All you have to do is just Google weird creatures, and boom, you turn it into a robot. Done. You got a boss.
Yeah.
You know, like it's primed for this stuff.
Yeah.
You could do a bunch of stuff. You could do like a beehive. You know, you could do a freaking duck-billed platypus as the big bad. You know, like a crocodile. You could do a bunch of shit.
I snap more, as they say in the game.
Like it's primed for it. It could be really good.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see more from it.
I like this idea that possibly, because the big criticism that a lot of people say is that PlayStation doesn't have any multiplayer games. They're all just single-player RPGs, over-the-shoulder, third-person stuff like that.
Oh, no, just the best games ever made.
They only make great games. Oh, yeah, okay. But I think Ghost of Tsushima might have led the way, where they made this multiplayer and people were like, this is actually really good, and it stands by itself. And they made a standalone version of it that's just recently come out.
That would be cool.
Factions, we're going to get a little bit to that later. There's a little bit more information about it, but that seems to be standalone, and it seems to be taking on a much bigger meaning this time, as opposed to the factions that we had before, which was just kind of forgettable and nobody really cared about it. If Horizon do it as well, this might be a precedent that PlayStation is setting, where they're like, is there a multiplayer mode you can make of your game? Pitch it to us. We like it. Make it.
Yeah.
Go on forward.
Well, I mean, not to always mention it, but Sucker Punch with the Legends mode. Like, there was no need for that. The game, no one asked for it. No one even knew it. They don't make any... I'm pretty sure there's no microtransactions. They don't make any additional money for it. And they just brought it out. And it's actually... Look, it's not the most popular... It's not going to compete with Apex or Warzone, but there's more people playing it than not playing it. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's kind of proving a concept, and it would be cool to have more multiplayer stuff to play on your PlayStation.
Yeah.
So that is exclusive, PlayStation content. So it'll be cool. Weirdly, there's a lot of games that Sony has the rights to that would make for... It's just a pity this genre of games never took off. You know that whole, like, one of you play as the hunter and then 4 of you play the team. Going against it. Those sorts of games just aren't super popular. I'm sure they're really popular in its own little niche, but...
Every time that I've seen it be implemented, it's always been very difficult to find a balance.
Yes.
Because it's either super hard for the 4 players at the beginning, or super hard for the monster, or whatever it is you're playing in the afternoon, in the beginning as well.
Yeah.
The what was that? Evolve. That's it. I remember at the beginning, super difficult to be the monster because you're super weak. So the first thing would be to eat those the wildlife so you can grow and evolve. And then when you were fully evolved, there is no opportunity for the other team to win. It's just you're gonna get wrecked. So, and if the players don't meet at that point where it's level, then it's just not a fair fight ever.
Because I think they're doing, is it Predator Hunting Grounds?
Predator Hunting Ground.
Which I want these games to do good. I actually like the idea of it, the concept of it. I'd love to see it be implemented. I don't know what needs to change, but they're not really hitting their mark.
Yeah.
But I would love to see a Spider-Man version of it where 4 of you play as like bank robbers in a heist and 1 of you Spider-Man. Right? Or something like that.
Shoot Spider-Man. Oh, got him. I killed Spider-Man, guys.
But do you think you could? Do you know what I mean? And obviously you'd have more health as Spider-Man and stuff. You'd give him like Kevlar suit or something. And then you could switch out characters. You're Deadpool. So you don't have the mobility options, but you have a lot more health.
Now it's like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And we're just
right, but like there's a bunch of stuff that they own that would be good for that genre of game. It's just that genre of game isn't that genre of multiplayer isn't super popular.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not for this, obviously, but I would like to see more stuff that's not that Sony owns, but like more things you can do only on your PlayStation that are multiplayer with your friends or against your friends.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of that if you want to play multiplayer on PlayStation, you have to play third party.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also kind of true for Xbox at the minute, but when Halo drops, they'll actually have something, and there won't be a similar contender for. I hate it. Has
Sorry,
it gone? Oh, it's gone red.
Oh,
it's red.
I know
the battery's red. Mine's been 100 this whole time.
Oh, can't handle it.
87 on the phone.
Seeing as we're on the topic of Marvel games and stuff like that, I'll quickly transition into our new topic.
Okay.
Sony is allegedly working on another Marvel title that hasn't been announced yet. Supposedly supposed to be multiplayer focused. Likely to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Okay.
And as if that wasn't bad enough, as if that wasn't like another Marvel title.
It's Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds is in the game.
Insomniac is apparently making it.
Oh, mate.
Hold on. I want to call bullshit.
How are Insomniac gonna make Ghost of Tsushima 2 and this?
Oh, that's the correct Conbrosations on its way.
Seriously, who was like, oh yeah, Insomniac, they're named that because they literally don't sleep.
Yes. Yeah.
And if anyone does, we're going to make it so they can't. Like,
there's no time to sleep. Get back to making games.
Right. So, do you know what is interesting? I have not seen one article about crunch from Insomniac.
When Ratchet and Clank came out, they were openly, for some reason, they were openly saying, it's like, we didn't crunch one moment with this. And I was like, how? You're making too many games. How?
Yeah.
Explain to me how you've worked out this time loop then, because there's no other answer.
Yeah, they got that thing from Harry Potter, the time turner.
So, okay, we turn it back.
Yeah, it's cool. We'll just go back, start. It boggles my mind. Don't get me wrong. We actually still don't have... there's 2 games they've got in the works that we don't have dates for.
Yeah.
But within 5 years, that's probably within 3, knowing Insomniac.
I want to say on the record, I think this is bullshit.
I kind of hope so. I want them to focus.
And the thing is that you remember last week we were talking about that one article from some stupid journalist, whatever the fuck they were like, Insomniac's working on Marvel games for the foreseeable future, but I hope they're allowed to work on their own projects.
First of all,
as well.
shut
So,
up.
yeah,
I
shut
forgot
up.
about that. You're an idiot. You're dumb.
Enough with the Marvel games, okay? Wolverine's fantastic and Spider-Man's fantastic. Just have a go at those first of all and see how things go. How about we
You say that.
get to the end of Spider-Man, then go, all right, can we do anything else?
You say that. But that's only... I genuinely think that's only because we've been so badly burnt with Marvel's Avengers.
True.
That otherwise, especially things like, Wolverine and Spider-Man, you can recycle constantly, like Batman. You can constantly make movies or games. Can't, it's infinitely recyclable content.
Do the origin story again and
We need to see
again and
it.
again.
Lots of people don't know, all right, about Martha's pearl necklace. And I personally want to see how it got on there.
Oh, my God.
I'm so sorry. So, those are just instant wins. If it's Spider-Man or Wolverine, it wins.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if it's Insomniac. And so it's almost as if this is their first Marvel game they're announcing, because Spider-Man, it's a gimme. Wolverine, it's a gimme. All they have to do is not suck.
Yeah.
They have to not frick up at every possible turn, and the game's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's Wolverine.
When you say it makes it sound bad because not frick up at every possible turn. It's like there's a lot of opportunities to frick up,
But they have to hit every single bump.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. They could hit 90% of the bumps and still end up with a good game because it's Insomniac and it's Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's hard to mess up. Dude, how many movies was he in? Was Hugh Jackman in as Wolverine? 5, right?
X-Men. What's the 2 called?
2 and 3.
2, 3,
Origins.
Last Stand. 3 was Last Stand, wasn't it?
Yeah. Wolverine
Origins.
Origins. Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past.
Logan.
So
he's
6.
At least 6.
Yeah.
I think there might be one that we're forgetting.
He made a cameo appearance in First Class. First Class, yeah. We told the thing to fuck off, and that was it.
Yeah.
Good enough.
So 90% of those
he was
movies.
also in a moment in Deadpool as well, although it was a reused scene. Deadpool 2 where he went back in time.
Oh, yeah.
He went to go kill the other Deadpool.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
Every single one of their movies except for Logan sucks. And we tolerated it because it was Hugh Jackman and Wolverine.
How dare you? How dare you?
X-Men 2.
Last Stand was fantastic.
I will never.
The moment where he's walking up to what's her name again?
Yeah, frickin' Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, and he's getting pieces flown off of him.
That was sick.
And then you see Terminator skull underneath.
Yeah.
Mate, it looks like
even I couldn't tolerate the shit in Japan.
Everything.
Even I am the Japan simp, and I couldn't tolerate it.
Everything breaks off except for the balls area, and it's
Yeah,
thankfully she didn't blast his balls away for
right.
them to grow back. That'd be painful as fuck.
I mean, there's so much weird stuff. We tolerated it because it's Wolverine. Do you know what I mean? It's an insta win, and that's what I'm talking about. 7 out of 8 movies sucked, and we're still Wolverine simps. We put Hugh Jackman into an early grave almost certainly with that kind of training and stuff to get 6 shitty movies and 1 good one.
Mate, sometimes some characters can withstand the test of time. We've not had a single great Batman movie ever, and still here we are.
Do you know what? I actually agree with you.
Really?
I
Oh
swear
shit!
to God,
Spicy take, guys. Spicy
I
take.
actually agree with you. We haven't had one movie that is just 100% solid. One Batman movie that's 100% solid. We haven't had the actual Batman. There's no Batfleck movie.
We didn't get Ben Affleck as a Batman. That's the reason why we didn't have
Dark
one.
Knight, the Joker carried it.
Yeah.
And then what? Excuse me. Is it Batman Forever, the one with Freeze and stuff? That one's obviously it.
Okay, we'll accept that one. We'll accept that. Was it Joel Schumacher? Was that the guy who directed that one?
Yeah, I think it was.
The guy's atrocious, but
So I actually agree. Don't get me wrong, they're not bad, but they're not garbage. Actually, do you know what? The first one with Christian Bale's pretty shit. It's pretty rough.
You never learn to watch your surroundings. Why is your voice? Are you making the voice, or is the thing pushing on your?
You can't tell. You can't tell. Also, I know this is a stupid critique, but his hair is ridiculous in that entire movie. It's awful. It's like it came out in 2008, right? Something like that. It looks like they just finished wrapping a movie in 1998 and kept the hair. Anyway.
Speaking while we're still on the Insomniac stuff, I'll quickly throw this in. This is a small thing. There's a quote from one of the on the weekly Marvel podcast.
Okay.
Vice President Bill Roseman briefly discussed Insomniac's current slate of projects and mentioned that if the Spider-Man game, the first one, was Star Wars, Spider-Man 2 is kind of like Empire. It gets a little darker.
Empire is
pretty damn good.
Objectively the best Star Wars movie ever. One of the best. I don't care what you have to say. One of the best movies ever made.
So when they say...
I thought these things... It's so good.
On the outside.
It's so good. I love you. Fuck off.
How do you like the
Family
idea?
Guy one, but it's still funny.
How do you like the idea of Spider-Man just getting a little bit darker for the second one? I mean, the first one, fucking spoiler alert, Aunt May dies.
Yeah, that's pretty...
Like,
although
we're
she
gonna
was
get darker
universally
than this.
hated in that game, wasn't she? I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure. I didn't find anything too atrocious about her. But I was too busy swinging. I was like,
The thing is, I feel like Spider-Man's kind of like Superman, and which is I don't want it too dark. I actually think that's the most atrocious thing about the Henry Cavill Superman movies.
Yeah.
Is that like, one, the scale's ridiculous, but killing Zod, I'm actually okay with it, but I would have been more okay with it had he not pancaked a terrorist at the beginning.
Of,
Do you know what I mean?
of Batman vs
Yeah.
Superman.
Like, we watch Superman kill a bunch of people. And then he kills Zod, and he's like, "Oh no, I killed a guy." Like, dude, you've literally killed a bunch of dudes at this point. You know,
It's a.
I want.
I know it's supposed to be more realistic and stuff.
I
like
want my Spider-Man and my Superman movies full gamma, full saturation. I want them bright. That red and blue is a great combo. That's how I want those movies.
So you want Joss Whedon back? Is that what you want? Is that what you're saying?
Murder somebody. But you know, like darker games, Batman, yes.
Yes.
You know, like I want darker, grittier. I don't know if it's right for Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man is supposed to be a bit more happy and stuff like that. When I first saw it, I went sort of like a hill. I was like, yes, darker, because I like darker stuff. It's kind of cool. But then I was like, oh, but is it right fit for Spider-Man? But then I thought, it's Venom, right?
Yeah.
The best part about Venom is that freaking scary face in the dark of night, and the way that it attacks you and attacks like your emotions when he's attached to Peter and stuff like that. I kind of want a bit of darkness, not full horror, but a bit of darkness is going to be nice.
I'm with you. I also think, for me, one of the things that makes Venom such a good villain for Pete, or I guess both of them here, is that he knows Pete.
Yeah.
Right. And the whole point here, Pete's hero arc is giving up Venom, right? The power and the power that's kind of corrupting him, right? To go back to being just boring old Spider-Man. So that's kind of his hero arc. But then as a villain, Venom now has all of Spider-Man's like abilities because he kind of takes, he imprints on him.
Them,
and he knows Pete. He knows the buttons to press and stuff. And then it's kind of like fighting an evil version of yourself that's also stronger and then how do you beat that? But it's got slightly different weaknesses. So I get darker, but not dark. I don't want dark, but darker for sure.
Yeah. We'll see what that means exactly in the months to come. I'm sure we're going to get some sort of event sometime soon.
I for one am worried. I don't trust Sucker Punch to make this game.
Yeah, Sucker Punch. They don't have a good. They know how to make Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
But I mean, did they make any progress with Resistance?
No, they didn't.
Did they make any?
They don't have much experience with games like this. Like, if they'd have made something like Infamous, like Insomniac did, then I'd feel a bit better. But
I'd feel better as well. Right. These guys know Sunset Overdrive. They know Ratchet and Clank. Right. But Sucker Punch know those games in and out
because they made them.
Exactly. But they don't know Spider-Man. They don't.
It's actually making me angry.
Oh boy. I'll throw this one as a quick one in there before we get to one of the bigger topics. Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
The generous man that he is went and bought a PlayStation 5 for someone.
Yeah. Well, okay, good, cool. At least finally, thanks to Phil Spencer, one person has a games console worth having.
The guy had opened up his heart and he was like, this man needs to experience next gen
He's the gaming
to the fullest. and he gave him a PS5. It was actually the voice actor for Colt in Deathloop.
Okay.
He bought him a PlayStation 5 so he can play himself in the game because he
Yeah.
didn't have one. He famously did like an IG live video or something like that, or TikTok video, and he said, "Hey, can someone get one for me?" And Phil Spencer opened up his wallet personally, took out the money, and bought a PS5. I want to know how he got a PS5. Do you reckon he called up Shuhei Yoshida and was like,
Shuhei, bros,
"Yo, my bruh, come on, how many sakis have we had?" And we took, come on now.
I feel like if anyone's going to have the Connect, it's going to be Evil Corporation Suit Man.
I was going to say, it's so funny because even the arch enemy of the console can get a PS5 and some of our guys in our community can't get one. That's just... Anyway, he bought him a PS5. I thought it was just a funny little thing. That's all it
funny.
Was.
It's funny because it supports our bias, right? But it's also funny because...
Xbox, our bias on this show that everyone seems to have labeled us.
To be honest, it's not a bias. We're just right on this one. I hate to because look, people have opinions, and you're entitled to your own opinions, but their own facts.
Yeah.
Okay. Fact. PS5 better than Xbox. Suck it.
Fact.
But it is just funny.
Yeah.
That like you said, one, he can get hold of one, and two, he got it, but he got it for someone that he knows because it's like. It's a mate or whatever, so he can play his own game. Yeah. It's just ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny as hell.
Also, even more ironic.
Go on.
Bethesda made the game.
Yeah.
It's ironic on multiple levels. It's kind of... I'll tell you this. If you were writing a book or a movie script and you put something with that many layers of irony in it, I tell you to cut it because no one would believe it.
Like, easy now.
No one's going to buy... This is stupid.
Easy.
Right?
And I think there's one. Okay, we've got a couple more topics.
Right, cool.
GTA.
Yes.
The trilogy, the definitive edition, has been registered for a ratings board in Korea.
Sick.
Kind of proving that that it exists.
Yeah, it's going to be GTA for the PS3, then the PS4, and then the PS5. GTA 5.
Go out and buy it, guys. There we go. GTA 5 on all platforms, just in one bundle. That's how it's going to be.
It's a trilogy.
Honestly, I'm a little bit worried that that's true. I'm a little bit worried that that's true because of how Rockstar are. They just want to sell you PS5 again. We're all thinking, okay, it's going to be Vice City, San Andreas.
Yeah, it's going to be the
GTA 4 as well.
It's going to be the ultimate sandwich of games. No. It's going to be GTA 5
could
again.
Could it be?
Because that would be the way to do it, is you do Vice City, San Andreas, GTA 5, boom, there you go. Like the three big, best games. Obviously, you're going to get GTA 5 back in there.
Oh, you got to get in there.
A little bit of me really thinks they might do it, though. And, not even that little bit. I'm probably at a solid 15%.
Yeah, I could. That's about where I am as well.
They might actually do the Master Chief collection where you can go back in the graphics, but they just do it twice, so it's technically a trilogy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So how many times? Because because I'm playing Halo, you just need to press one of the buttons and it switches between the two graphics. Right. Do you need to press it 3 times to switch through each of the generations of graphics?
Yes.
PS3, PS4, PS5.
Oh no! They will make it a brand new game. They'll take it all the way back to GTA 3, where it's the top-down. You know?
There's 4 toggles. It'll be top down. The PS3, PS4, PS5.
That's right.
Done. There you go.
That's right.
There you go, guys.
And the real big difference is you can choose. You know how you used to change your cheats. So I'll get the rocket launcher. I'll do the money cheat. I'll get the tank. The only thing you'll be able to change is the interactions with the hookers.
Oh yeah.
You know.
There you go.
I worry. Rockstar. I don't get it. Even I know Red Dead's better.
Yeah, come on, man. Support Red Dead, man. Make a remaster for Red Dead 1.
And the worst thing is,
what we want.
This is the thing. If they would just believe in Red Dead, it would equal, or maybe not beat, but because I don't think it hits as broad an audience.
Cowboys is
it's its own niche, right?
It's great and it's wide, but it is a niche in comparison to modern day jacking cars, heists, and stuff like that.
But if they would just back it just a little bit, it would bang. It would really perform.
Exactly.
There's a bunch of people that love the games. There's a bunch of people that love Cowboys. It's got a broad enough area that it covers, and they're just no one cares about Cowboys. There's definitely not a bunch of actors that made their entire careers on just cowboy movies.
No.
Clint Eastwood's. That guy doesn't exist.
One of the greatest movies of all time. No, it's not going to be any of the Back to the Future 3, man.
No. Right? Like, what are you doing? GTA 5 again? Okay.
Okay, we'll do that. No, say no more, fam.
Right.
Say no more.
God damn it.
Anyway, that's come out there. Okay, Last of Us Day.
Ah, yes.
Last of Us Day came and went a couple of days ago, and everyone was very excited. We were all waiting. They said there's going to be updates on various things, content updates as well for The Last of Us.
Sick.
And they announced a bunch of figurines.
Yep.
Some music.
Yeah.
Some jackets. They showed a still from the HBO show.
Still amazing stuff.
From behind, we got to see Pedro Pascal from behind, and I forgot the lady's name, the girl's name that Pascal played, Ellie. And that was it.
Dope. Tight.
They gave a statement regards to the update to the actual content they must have been talking about. They go, in short, we're working on it. We see the community comments, as many as you clamor for multiplayer and want updates. For now, we'll say that we love the team is developing what they want, and we want to give them time to build out their ambitious project. We'll reveal some more when it's ready. To that end, we've been busy growing our team inside the kennel since, because it's Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
I just got that now. Inside the kennel since The Last of Us Part 2 launched, and I'm currently in full swing in hiring for multiplayer related positions. Hint, hint. So if some of you guys have know of qualities or anything that's close, we hope you've had much fun with today as much as we have put it together. La-di-da-di-da. Enjoy these epic photos and these stories we send your way. They're only just now hiring.
Yeah, that is what?
When they said, factions won't be available at launch, it was like, all right, 6 months later.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe with a director's cut for PS5.
Right.
No problem. This game isn't going to come out for 2 years.
Question. There's something in there that he said, I forget the exact quote, but it's something like, we like that the team is working on what they love, and it's this ambitious project.
Yes.
Could you read that exact thing?
So let me just read it here. For now, we'll say that we love what the team is developing, and we want to give the team time to build out their ambitious project. We'll reveal more when the time is ready.
Okay. It's a remake. Remake the game. Don't get ambitious. It is genuinely, barring the gameplay, which is relatively basic, came out in 2013. Fair enough. I think that's fair
you're
enough.
talking specifically about The Last of Us Remake.
Remake
Yes.
the game.
Which
remake
is
the
working
game.
on apparently somewhere.
Because that is one of the things they're working on, right?
Yeah.
I'm really concerned that that's what they're talking about. What I want them to do is take all of their assets for movement mechanics and just copy pasta. Goes into The Last of Us 1. You update the textures and just change some of the stuff. Give us a bit more verticality.
Yeah.
The ability to like hide in the grass, chuck in some dogs and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then give me the game again. Don't touch anything. Nothing.
I say it was a perfect game. You can leave it that way.
It was literally perfect. I even genuinely, I would appreciate this free roam mode afterwards with the T-pose Tommy that we all saw that we learned later, all that stuff. Like, keep it as close as possible. Just remake it. Give it the extra mechanics. Give it more of the gameplay.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything.
How do you feel about this multiplayer mode? People still think I'm crazy when I say this, but I have the feeling that it's not just going to be Last of Us 2 factions. It may be called that, but I don't think it's going to be the same beast. I don't think it's going to be factions as we know it. I think this is going to be much bigger.
Battle Royale?
Don't say those words. You Dr. Disrespect or something. Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you what, though. Battle Royale with actual, formidable NPCs on the map. So you have to play against, your 50 to 100 people.
Yeah.
But there's actual clickers that will kill you in one go.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Right?
Or
a bloater or something.
Yeah, that could be quite funny. I think this is going to be way bigger. I think this is not going to be... In the same vein of how Ghost of Tsushima Legends is its own thing. It's completely different. And how we've got rumors of this Horizon multiplayer game, and it's probably going to be something completely different. I imagine hunting monsters like Monster Hunter World is a game and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be its own thing as well. And I think that's the That's the route that Sony are going in. They're like, we've got this IP, we've got this name, we've got a great mechanic in each one of them. We can just try and make that into a multiplayer game. And I think they're going to go for something else.
I feel that.
I don't know quite what, but I think it's going to be different. People who are fans of factions, I don't know why you're fans of it. Yeah, well, two of you guys. But I think this is going to be different. I think it's going to be better.
I'm actually with you.
Yeah?
I think I think Sony's coming at this problem from two sides, which was that they don't have any multiplayer. They're not associated with multiplayer, so they either found or purchased these new houses to make specifically like FPSs and multiplayer games. Yeah. And in the meantime, they have amazing IPs that can easily be adapted to some form of online multiplayer. And so they're going, okay, well, we've got multiplayer. Like, it's basically there for Horizon. The game makes itself. Yeah. It's there for... We had it in The Last of Us. We're making another Last of Us game. Stick it in. My question to you is, for factions specifically, for multiplayer, let's say not factions, for multiplayer for The Last of Us Remake, would you include it in the game, or would you do it like a standalone? You know, like Warzone's a standalone. You don't have to buy anything. Forget microtransactions or any of that stuff. Would you do it like that, in the same way that sort of Halo Infinite's doing it, releasing it in different bits and bobs? Or are you going to say, no, get the game, comes with multiplayer? How are you going to do it?
I think it would be good to do it the way like Ghost of Tsushima is doing, where you get it if you buy the game, but make a standalone version on the side as well. Because people who like who bought the game, they've already supported you all this way, and also you did tell them that there was going to be a multiplayer mode coming. Yeah. It's just not going to be available at launch, so that you kind of owe them that. Give them
some like cosmetics and stuff that you only get because you bought the game, that kind of thing.
And also, it shows like a level of confidence as well, because like I was saying that about Ghost of Tsushima. I think Ghost of Tsushima's Legends mode is actually really, really good.
It's pretty amazing, yeah.
And it could spark its own thing as a multiplayer game. And if they put enough into it and then they make it standalone like they have, it could become its own thing. And just give it a little bit more time and some updates or whatever they're going to do. And this could be something similar like that. It just depends on how good the content is, how addictive it is. People want to play online games. I'm not big into online games anymore, but I know that they are big. The thing that pisses me off about online games is the people that play them. For some reason, people seem to think that everything revolves around them. Yeah. What was it? The reason why I made the Dr. Disrespect joke is because Dr. Disrespect said that Halo Infinite will fail if it doesn't have a Battle Royale mode in it at launch.
Right, no one cares about you.
It's like, what is it with Battle Royale players where they think they're the center of the universe?
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Shut the fuck up.
Now, the question everybody wants to know from you. If you were to do a Ghost of Tsushima online multiplayer, how would you do it?
Well,
you think they're going to spark? So let's hear in detail.
I would not at all. I would steer clear from PvP, 1v1 duels. That's awful. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Proven.
Right. Yeah.
They know that fact. It's all about fighting NPCs, but indirectly. It's all about fighting fighting NPCs and fighting other players indirectly. You have to fight NPCs, build up some points.
They'll never come in contact with each other. Exactly. No one wants conflict.
Have you ever seen two swords hit? Never. No, exactly.
That's not how they work.
It's not how they work. Exactly.
They'd get blunt.
Exactly. Oh, come on. Could you imagine you spend all day sharpening it with a beautiful whetstone?
And the other guy's probably wearing armor. If you hit armor with the sword, I mean, that's why you make armor, to stop swords going through it. Ridiculous.
I make my sword sharp so I can cut bamboo. That's all I do.
The worst thing is, I actually love those bamboo strikes.
Oh, yeah.
They're really, really good. Anyway, I'm actually with you.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy your optimism for games, for the multiplayer side of both Horizon and The Last of Us, because I agree with you. I do genuinely agree with you. I think they haven't got it yet. I think that each of these games has to do something slightly different, and I hope they experiment early and take feedback, because, like, for example, I don't think Ghost of Tsushima Legends does it right. I think what it has is great, but what would do better, what would be the best, is not just 1v1 duels, because I personally want that, but I think like a 6v6 or 3v3 or something like that, sort of like For Honor.
Yeah,
you know,
I like that mode. I like For Honor.
I think that would do really well.
Yeah,
and the game's really well suited to it. I don't think that would work very well for Horizon which is much more tailored to PvE as a group, raids and stuff like that. You could put PvP in there for sure, but it would be it'd be like 70% PvE. You want to do the raids and stuff like that. The
draw for Horizon is the robot dinosaurs.
Right.
It's like, I'm going to fight this person over here. It doesn't really make sense, does
and
it?
Also, if I was doing it, the mechanic to mess with people and fight people would be, let's say you've when you capture a dinosaur and can ride it, what was that called?
I'm not sure. Is it with the staff thing where you turn it blue, isn't it?
Yeah, you hack it basically and you command it. Yeah. Where you can attack certain spots and it will like throw the rider and do damage or unhack them or whatever. That would be a good way to do it. Taking like large enemies and tricking them to follow you but attack somebody else.
Yeah.
That would be the way I would do PvP in that game. Just messing with people, not combat. And then The Last of Us would be... Maybe actually the Battle Royale would work for that. But again... Put the frickin'
100 joules, do it.
Oh my god. Also, you know how Fortnite has like power items, you go and you get Thanos' glove or become Superman or something? In the middle, gold, 3 iron.
Oh shit! And then Abby comes out of nowhere, starts smacking you all up. Ah!
Or if you get it, she comes out and she bodyguards you for 2 minutes. Like, all right,
When it comes to the... people's minds do go to Battle Royale because it's like one of the popular things right now. However, I don't see it happening for one reason.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't see Naughty Dog as the trend followers. I see them as the trend setters.
I fully agree with you there.
They would make up their own thing. They would do their own thing and it would be like, all right, people like this. It might not shake the world, but it would be a great thing people like and then move on. But potentially, because it's multiplayer and multiplayers usually have that replayability, come back every day type thing, they could change the world.
I also suspect, this might be complete ignorance, never going to let that get in the way of saying something on the internet, that adapting your multiplayer into a Battle Royale is always going to be easier than making a Battle Royale and then trying to get people to play the other mode.
Yeah.
So you bring out the game, see how it does, and then do a thing like, you know how Nazi Zombies, I mentioned this a bunch of times, but back at World at War, Call of Duty 5, it was just one of the devs' pet projects and everybody in the office started playing it and then they wrapped it into the game, right?
Yeah.
Well, sort of like that, you bring out the game, see how people like it, and then say, do you know what? A few of our guys in the office, you just lie, a few of our guys in the office have been playing it as like a Battle Royale and they're loving it. We're going to, just for this weekend only, we're going to roll it out, see if, so you guys can play it, see what you think. Let us know. And then see if suddenly people love it. If they don't, if they fall off within that first week, you keep what you got.
You
don't have to worry about the servers.
Yeah.
But I think you do that second. You don't do that first, because if you do that first, you've cornered yourself. Like not many people are playing the OG COD game types. The domination and TDM. They're mostly playing Warzone and stuff.
Yep.
So that's what I think.
Yeah. Do you mind if we move on to the next topic?
I do mind.
Let's
talk more about...
Fuck you, then. The next topic, Game Pass could possibly be at 30 million subscribers if an offhand comment from Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, is to be believed. He was on a podcast called The Grill. It's like Fireside Chat, something like that.
Cool.
He was having a conversation, and they were asking him about his insights into Game Pass and stuff like that. Phil Spencer was also on the call, and Zelnick, offhand, just sort of said, Game Pass is at 30 million subscribers now. And isn't that right, Phil? Is that something like that? And Phil says, the last official number that we said was 18 million.
Right.
And he sort of like smiled and grinned, and then they moved on.
Right.
And the host of the show tried to say, oh, so it is at 30 million, though. You just haven't announced it. But they didn't say anything. Right. They just moved on like that. So that could be possibly the number that they're at now, which I have to say is actually quite impressive. 18 million in January to now 12 million. That's a big growth.
Yeah.
Big growth.
12 million. Potentially some of those are even paying for it.
That's the one side jerk to this whole story. I want to give the praise where praise is due, because even
getting 12 million people in under 12 months, massive.
A massive number, huge. Right? Massive number. And
that's nearly as many people as forked out $500 for a PS5.
I was going to say, because like that's That's a marketing. Granted, they did flood the internet with Game Pass adverts.
Yeah.
They got all of those shills on Twitter to tweet out freely advertisement for Xbox and whatnot. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? You guys talking about soulless corporations? You're advertising for them. They're literally saying advertise for me, and you're just like, yes, sir.
Do you know what I love?
Yes, sir.
Read product name.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, and then they go around, they're like, oh, we can't trust some YouTubers.
Right.
They get these sponsorship deals. We can't trust them. You're doing it for free. Anyway, I do want to give some praise because that is an expert. You've managed to get 12 million people at least to sign up.
Let's assume it's true for the record.
And
it might not be, but let's assume it is.
That's the thing. I'm inclined to believe it is.
I actually agree.
It kind of, especially with
Feels about right.
The E3 push that they made, with all of the new announcements of games that aren't coming for a while, but they are coming, with Halo Infinite on the rise, Forza's coming, etc.
The fact that it's across multiple generations of consoles.
Exactly.
And PC.
And with how you just can't get away from it, I think it's possible.
Yeah.
And also, Strauss Zelnick, he would be privy to this sort of information. If Phil Spencer's going up to Take-Two to try and get a GTA game on Game Pass, he's probably going to have to tell them the numbers of subscribers. He's not going to be like, we're not going to tell you. Well, guess what? You're not getting our game.
Right. We're actually the big dog here. Don't try it.
Exactly. Don't talk down to us. We're talking down to you.
Right.
So I imagine he knows. I think that's quite impressive.
It is impressive.
I'm going to say it's impressive right there.
Pinch of salt.
Yeah.
A couple of things. One, Zelnick could have just got it wrong.
True.
You know, it could have been 20. Could have been 23 million. He could have misread 18 as 13 million, and said 13, and misspoke and said 30. Like, there's a bunch of
ways. He's a suit at the end of the day,
right? And that puts them at 60% to break even. Their number for where they start to turn a profit is 52 million.
That was the rumor, and I don't know if that's gone up or down because they've made so many acquisitions and greenlit so many more projects.
Let's say just Game Pass, not for Xbox to make profit, but for Game Pass as a model to make money, which I think is, I believe that's some. Otherwise, if we include like the Bethesda acquisition,
we need to make $7 billion.
Right, never going to happen. But so that puts them at 60% of their. So they towards their goal, and they gained of their 60%. They gained like 20% of it in 12 months, which is massive.
Yeah,
that is very good. Still not turning a profit.
And that's the thing. It's still not turning a profit, which is a key thing here. And also, how long is it going to stay for as well? Because I know they did the whole thing where they're like, if you have 3 you can convert 3 years of
Xbox Gold.
Xbox Live Gold, that's right, to Game Pass for $1. I know they did that because they were like, maybe in 3 years we can get those numbers up because then we have those people. But the thing is that doesn't count as a person because they're not giving you anything in return. If you're giving away free stuff, that doesn't count as a sale.
Right.
Anyway, I just wanted to put that number out there because I thought it was impressive. It's not confirmed. We'll take it with a pinch of salt for now. I'm pretty sure what the next time we'll get.
I'm inclined to believe it.
It's true. It does seem in the realm of possibility.
Especially because there's so many more loud, toxic people that just will not tolerate paying a fair price for a game. Which, to be very clear, I'm not specifically picking on you dickheads in the Discord. But that, like, we have seen it. And the thing that I always find so interesting is there are a bunch of guys that defend Game Pass as a model, right? And they say it doesn't do stuff, and that not that we always make it trying to like fetishize paying for games, but that we're a bit too supportive of the price of games, and they're a bit more. They understand the value proposition.
Yeah.
But then they play the PlayStation 5 exclusives, and it feels like every time they play a new game, they're like not support, but their belief's not the right word either, but like how strongly they back the model seems to like back off just a bit because the quality, the consistency, it's just not there.
At the end of the day, people will pay for quality and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's why Sony's.
That's why Lamborghinis exist.
I was gonna say, and that's why Sony hasn't failed. That's why they haven't crumbled to the ground.
Yeah.
That's why they're leading the market yet again. That's why they're bringing in more revenue than Microsoft is, despite them being the biggest company of. I should say Xbox, not Microsoft. Microsoft bringing, but PlayStation's bringing more than Xbox. There's a reason for it. Is because they have the quality. They're giving you a fair product for the price. That's what it is right now. Anyway, that's good for Game Pass. We'll see how it goes. It's probably going to get bigger by the time Halo Infinite comes out. And we'll see how things go from there.
I'd love to see, by the way, because I know I always rag on Game Pass, but I would love to see it get to a point where, because I'm sure there's enough idiots to get on it, that if it actually starts making money, which they've never actually told us how many subscribers at what average cost, or mean cost, I should say, but if it starts making money, then they start making a good service.
Yeah.
You know, like actually paying devs a bit better, paying for follow-up titles, the irony of them saying it doesn't always have to be a sequel and then naming multiple sequels, you know, but bringing out some new IPs, because that I would like to see from Xbox. I actually do want to see, sounds dumb, but I think for a healthy gaming sphere, we need more division. We need more games you can only play on Xbox, more games you can, because at the minute you get the games you can play are on PlayStation, on the Nintendo, and then also anything you can play on the Xbox you can play on third party, you know?
Yeah, there's not many exclusives. I listened to a podcast where they were trying to, they made a bet. It was like back in 2019 where they were like, they said that the Xbox are going to release more than 2 Xbox exclusives next year. And then they looked back at it and they were like,
that was ambitious.
No, they didn't. They didn't. So it's one of them things, isn't it?
But I'd like to see them get to a point where they're making enough money and they know the recipe Sony follows. Yeah. And hopefully with this venture in Halo, they can say, okay, well, this works. Well, let's bring out our own stuff.
Yeah.
Which it's been a long time since. And also, like, you don't have to buy Bethesda. You can make a brand new studio and make a great game and people will buy it. Yeah. You know? So I hope they do that.
I have the impression as well that the reason why they bought Bethesda and why they buy these studios is because back in the day they kind of showed that, and I'm not trying to please don't take this the wrong way, please don't take this the wrong way, because there's proof right here, okay? So they're not very good at managing their own studios and managing their own IPs. I mean, look what they've done with Halo. Ever since they lost Bungie,
allowed to have
exactly,
Halo,
they brought 343 in, and it's just been crap according to every Halo fan that I've spoken to. Yeah. They've shut down a bunch of studios, they've cancelled a bunch of projects, and any game that has come out that's managed to make it to the Day of Light, it's not been anything worth playing.
Yeah.
With odd exceptions, there are some games obviously that are good.
Psychonauts sticks out.
Exactly. And even that wasn't even like in production with them. It was with another company, and then they bought them. Yeah. And I think that's why they're buying people, because they're like, we clearly don't know what the secret sauce is, what the recipe is, what PlayStation are doing over here. But these guys know how to make a game, so let's bring them in and give them the funding. Let's bring these guys in and give them the funding. And I hope they're hoping that that's going to make everything work. And honestly, it's a good strategy. Yeah. We just have to see it bear fruit.
What Microsoft needs to do is get Microsoft out of damn it.
That frog
out of the equation, because perfect example to me, not just because I'm a fan, but they own Rare and have done for many years. Where's Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah, they're bringing out the Nintendo Switch. Not to their own console, but to Nintendo.
So, like, you have Banjo-Kazooie, you own the IP. You've seen that, like, Ratchet & Clank does well. Psychonauts was worth bringing out. These, not kiddie games, but, you know, like the family-friendly type games, do really well. And people love them. They have... It would functionally be a new IP for you. Bring it out. Nah, we'll have Rare do something else. Like, get Microsoft out of the equation, almost, you know?
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I hope that they get out of their own way. Yeah. Because they do have enough quality studios.
Yeah.
And I think if their focus is less on monetizing their product and switches to making the best product, a game, then they'll make more money. I think their focus is trying to recoup the cost immediately. Yeah. And that's why I don't know, that's my perception of it.
While we're on this topic, let me bring this up here, because I actually originally removed this because it was too big of a topic. Okay. I think we have a better one, but I'm going to lightly breeze over it. Because we got to the 1-year anniversary of the Bethesda acquisition, everyone seemed to have thought that Microsoft were going to buy another studio. I don't know where this rumor started, but they were where
the money came from.
It's on the anniversary, so they must be buying another one. The rumors went out that apparently they're either going to buy Take-Two.
Okay. what's the point?
Or they were going to buy Square Enix. Another. Just what?
What the hell?
Or they were going to buy Sega. And I was like...
Sega's, I could make... Do you know what?
Maybe they could buy Sega. Maybe. Because, I mean, Sega, while they are doing their own thing, they are making moves. They're not as really in the flow of things. Square Enix is fully set up to have themselves publish everything. They're really in the flow of making games. Take-Two are at the peak. They need nobody. They don't need Microsoft. Now, granted, it might not be up to them. Someone might be like, we're willing to sell for $100 billion.
Yeah.
But that's ridiculous. Go on, what was you going to say?
So I just did a little bit of Googling about Sega because I was curious. I want to do a quick conversion, though. Sega had a revenue, not profit, but a revenue, net income, so what they kept, 25 billion last year. I think that's yen, though. So what's 25?
Oh, yen, okay. Well, that's going to be
let's go dollars. Not that much. That's 2.2 billion.
Okay.
That's still pretty major.
Yeah.
I think that's in Japanese. It may not be.
Is there such a thing as a company valuation publicly anywhere?
There is something which is called a market cap, which is like their total thing, all their stock and everything, which I don't think is what you would purchase a company for. That's at 420 billion.
That's a high number.
So I think that's with all the stock and everything. You wouldn't purchase. You don't need all that for the. Yeah. But like Sega is not the dead company that we obviously presumed it was.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I know they're making some games. They're out there and whatnot. Yeah. But when you think of great game studios, you don't go Sega.
Right. Not
Sega's
anymore anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Back in the day, yeah.
But if they're still worth $2 billion,
you pull out my Mega Drive. Come on.
Right. Like, so I don't know, man.
Yeah.
This
was utterly ridiculous. And also, we spent
$7 billion a year ago. Let's see. Should we buy Take-Two?
You know what? That wasn't big enough.
Yeah. They're going to buy Rockstar.
20 billion. Let's do that.
They're thinking of acquiring Disney.
Yes, we're going to buy Disney.
What?
Just anyway. I do want to say. Yeah. What did I want to say? I had a point, and I was going to.
I don't know. I lost my point as well. I was going to say something.
Shit.
Yeah. Never mind.
Well, I guess that point's lost in time then, eh? No. What I was. Okay, I remember what I was going to say. People were okay with the Bethesda acquisition to a certain extent.
Yeah.
There was definitely some attrition. There was like, oh, we don't want to have this go exclusive, taking this away from PlayStation. So there's a little bit of
Bethesda's known for high quality games in the last 10 years.
That's the other side of the argument. We were like, yes, Bethesda. Well, I think we're okay. You guys take it. It, no problem.
Also, then they come out and make Deathloop for the PS5.
That's the thing.
There's some irony here.
There was some bits of both sides, but for the most part, most people were like, cool, we're all right. We're going to be okay. We're going to survive.
Yeah.
If they were to take Square Enix, there's going to be a lot of people that'll be upset. If they Take-Two, there'll be a lot of people that are upset. And just for those reasons, I don't believe it's possible. Because I don't think...
There's no way.
No, for sure. In speaking in the real world, in financials, there's no way they'll take them. Go on, tell me, what are we looking at?
Square Enix did a revenue in 2020 of $9.5 billion.
There you go.
There is no way.
Anyway, even if they had the money, if they came to a deal or whatever it might be, I don't think they would do it because they would be hated by the gaming community for doing this. Yeah. Because there are so many games that are enjoyed by so many other people, and then people would actively turn against Microsoft for that. They'd be like, so I can't play Final Fantasy anymore. So I can't play Marvel's Avengers. I can't play this game. I can't play that game from Square Enix anymore. The next Tomb Raider, the next this. I can't play all of these games anymore because Microsoft purchased them. You know what? We actually hate Microsoft now.
Also, why would they purchase Square, a company that has this historically very strong relationship with Sony?
But it goes both ways. They've even had partnerships with, I think, one of the Tomb Raider games was a year exclusive on Xbox.
Yes, that's true.
And now they've got this thing where Marvel's Avengers is on Game Pass. So there's a clear issue there. Outriders was day one exclusive on not day one on Game Pass.
Yeah,
so they go back and forth. But there is like Final Fantasy VII. Clearly, their gem at the moment.
Yeah.
On PlayStation.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because that was a rumor going around they were going to go. And it was on the day they were like, yes, get ready for the announcement. Nothing.
Yeah.
One person was like, "Don't worry, it's happening in 3 hours. Just so we know the time it's going."
What?
Time goes by.
Why would?
I was like, "Who started this ridiculous rumor?"
Also, the thing is as well, you would think that the Microsoft execs would go, okay, look, yeah, we probably have the money to make another purchase. There's Microsoft, they probably do.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make something with these companies we just bought first.
How about that?
Maybe we should. I don't know. How's the any assets to show for, like, I don't know, Starfield?
I was gonna say I have
Can
to
we
feel
see
like,
Starfield?
while I keep saying, at what point is Microsoft, the execs, the guys upstairs who are signing all the checks, going to turn around and say, enough, guys.
Yeah.
Give me something. Give me a bit of evidence, a shred of evidence that you've made money.
Right.
Give me this
A
before
shred of
making
evidence?
another
Yeah,
fucking because. Right now, it's just give me money, give me money, give me money,
Yes.
and they can't ask for another 10 billion to go buy something else.
How do you?
You can't. With a barefaced cheek, Phil Spencer just goes in. I was wondering if I could maybe
Do you know what it probably
have
is?
some more, sir.
The guy that okays stuff probably just has atrocious social anxiety.
I can't take this anymore. Oh.
Right, so all you have to do is come and ask, and he just wants you to gone. So he'll okay it. That's
It's
how
like-
Microsoft's got this. Xbox
You
got
remember
this
how
far.
you said you would give me another 10 billion?
And then he
Did
kno-
I say that?
Mate, right, yeah. You know how you did. Otherwise, I guess we'll have to... what time do you shower before you leave work? Yeah, I'm scheduling my shower also.
Just the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Go to the toilet together, right next to him on the urinal.
Yeah, you stand
Hey,
next to
Bob.
Hey, I got a question for you. If we were to acquire Square...
This is not really the time for this.
Come on, Bob. We're good friends. Phil, seriously.
He slaps him on the back. I knew I could count on you. Ugh.
You know that's how this is all getting involved. And then that guy's just obviously got too much anxiety to tell anyone that this is happening, because then
Yeah.
he'd have to speak to somebody.
You know there are professional podcasts out there that don't go on these ridiculous tangents.
Ah.
And I hate them
Frick 'em.
compared to us. They're fucking
Frick 'em.
nothing. All right. Let's kick it over to the final topic. This one's
Okay.
a bit of a big one, but I
Alright.
think we can get through it. I think
Me
we can go
too.
with it. So, Xbox owned studio, The Initiative,
Yeah.
a studio described by themselves as a quadruple A studio, not triple A,
Uh-huh.
quadruple A,
Yeah,
the first of its kind.
I can think of so many games these guys have made.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Described by themselves as a quadruple A studio, which is one more A than any other studio that you know, which obviously means it's better.
That's 30% more A's.
Currently in development, it's a good one. Currently in development of a game called Perfect Dark, announces a partnership with Crystal Dynamics to co-develop their first game.
Okay.
The question I want to ask is, one of the questions I want to ask
Yeah.
is, why is an Xbox studio
I was just, yeah.
going out to third parties to ask for help on their game when they have all the money in the world? This Initiative studio is apparently filled with really big developers, like from people from Naughty Dog,
Yeah.
people from Sony Santa Monica, people from all over the shop who are very star-studded.
OG, frick, who are the guys that made Halo? I've gone out my head now.
Bungie.
Bungie guys, yeah, there's a bunch of dudes in there.
All these really good dudes. So with all of this talent, with all of this money, and with so many studios within Xbox Studios, why are they going out to a third party and co-developing?
Crucially, because so here's the thing. We mentioned back when the incident was running wild with the Hassan Kurraman guy, that somehow this one-man band had managed to work with, I forget their name.
Newer.
Yeah,
It's a funny
which
spelling.
is a third. They are a third-party company, but what they do is they specifically make stuff for other games.
Yeah.
Because it's something that either they're better at or there
It's
are too
an
many jobs.
outsourcing studio.
Yeah, you outsource
offloading
work.
your stuff. Yeah.
You outsource work. That's common.
Yeah.
Nothing even remotely close to co-developing.
No.
Why would you do that?
It's so strange as well because it doesn't. It's worrying on so many levels. It's
I
worrying.
was just about to say, it does not fill me with confidence at all. Again, because it's Microsoft getting in their own way.
Yeah.
It is what it feels like.
It's worrying because if you come out and you say this thing, you're like, we are making
We're a quadruple A title.
quadruple
Yeah.
A titles, which means we are better than everyone else. Be big, expensive, high quality, the best stuff you're ever going to see. We can't make this, guys. We need someone else to come in and help us. Please, 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 please. And we don't think anyone inside our own studios could do it.
Right.
We're going to head out to Crystal Dynamics.
Which also, Crystal Dynamics, nothing against them, but they don't famously make quadruple A titles.
yeah, they make some
They
good
make good
games.
stuff. They make good stuff. AAA stuff even.
But no one even says like Crystal Dynamics leading the way, guys.
Right.
Leading the way.
If you were to make a list of like the best companies, in my opinion, you're going to have Naughty Dog, potentially Square Enix, Santa Monica,
Rockstar. If they said we're getting Rockstar to come along because they do great stuff, we'll do that stuff like that.
Respawn, maybe even. But I can see any of this.
Dynamics
Which
is so strange.
is not to say Crystal Dynamics don't make good stuff. Crystal Dynamics are great. They make really good stuff.
Yeah.
You said quadruple A.
Yeah. And also, why'd you make that statement if you couldn't do it by yourself anyway, or even get close to it? Now, I will put in one counterpoint to our own thing, is that if this means that the game will come out and it will be fantastic and it'll be the first of its kind that's fantastic, then at the end of the day, who gives a crap, right? Who gives a shit? However, we're not at that stage yet, so we're just left to speculate. Yeah. So that's the point we're at. Right. And if it works out good, no problem. I'll happily take the L. I'll happily take all the shit for being worried and whatnot. Cool. No problem.
Bring out good games. Like you said, I'm happy to be wrong. It'll be the first, obviously.
First ever.
But if a good
every
game
week
comes
correcting Conbrosations is empty.
Right. It's a dead segment.
Exactly. Don't know why we have it. I want to bring out a couple more points.
Yeah, okay.
One, I'm super curious as to what the revenue split is here.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously they're not doing this for free.
Obviously. Yeah.
And they're not doing it off of... I imagine because it's it's co-development, it must be a revenue split. And if it's a Microsoft, if it's an Xbox Studios game, two things. One, we know that game is going to go to Game Pass. Game Pass isn't making a ton of money.
Yeah, well, it's making a loss right now.
Exactly. Yeah. So the revenue split is going to be low, and also
unless it's upfront cash buy.
But that's the thing. Would you do that if you were in co-development? Your name is on the box. It's like going, we're going to co-start a company together, and I'll take $10 million and never take a penny ever again. It's like, no, if you're in the company and you're putting work into it, you must have some sort of faith your company's going to grow eventually and become this big thing.
Do you know what's funny?
We're going to start a co-company. This show, I'm going to give you £5. See you later. Right?
Yeah,
good,
cool.
You cool?
Yeah, bless.
No problem.
And I'll just keep doing all. So
and
this is the
keep
thing.
doing work all day.
If it was Sony, absolutely no. I want a freaking share. Like I want my residuals, I want my royalties.
Yeah.
If it's Microsoft, one, I think you can ask for a big enough check and they'll cut it. They will give you the money up front. And I think you can say, once the game's made, our obligation is done. All the back end care, that's on your guys. You're going to Game Pass and stuff. That's not how we would do it. So once the game is made, it's all on you.
Yeah.
All the aftercare's on you. But our name is attached to it.
Yeah.
Could
be that way. I assumed it was going to be all... I assumed it was going to be a revenue split. When you say you're co-developing something, I assumed it'd be a revenue split. But then again, it would be... It's like... But if it's revenue split, we know for a fact, this isn't me just saying it, this is a fact, from every month when we get MPD results for game sales and everything like that, we get the low numbers on Xbox. It's always like 90% on PlayStation and 10% on Xbox. So we know for an actual fact that people don't buy as many games on Xbox compared to PlayStation. So they must be able to see that they're a business. They must be able to see that number and go, would they even go for a revenue split then? Because they know it's going to be low. It's so. I would love to know what the revenue split is behind
That's
the
why, knowing, again, we don't have the actual numbers.
No.
If you were in talks with Crystal Dynamics, the very first thing they're going to do is, okay, well, what are the options here? Show us the numbers. They'll know.
Yeah.
I also think it's worse if you see the actual numbers, personally. But from what we can sort of estimate, which is that, like you said, it's about 90% of the games on the MPDs are on Sony's side of things. You get the upfront, and then the payoff down the line, even though you don't sort of make the money, is you're attached to that game. And if it's really good and it gets really popular, with Crystal Dynamics, we co-built the game. And if it doesn't, it's very easy to palm it off and say, look, Microsoft, we co-directed with Microsoft, they're the ones that killed it. They made these decisions. We just built what they asked us to build. So I think you can
a lot of people are going to see it as an Xbox game, so you could easily palm it off like that. I think I have one scenario in which this actually is the reason why they went along with this and why they might go with the revenue split.
Hear it.
So I put it down as They made a huge loss on Marvel's Avengers.
No.
It made a huge loss on it. Apparently, there was a massive development for this, and they bought the Marvel's Avengers rights cost them such a big amount, and it didn't make the money back even close in the.
There's
in
no
the
way. Yeah.
Well, exactly. So they made a huge loss, and they publicly came out about that.
Yeah.
They reported it on their financials, and it was like, "What's this huge loss?" Marvel's Avengers.
All right.
That's what it is right there.
Like,
so,
imagine it's so bad, even Microsoft will admit to that loss.
Exactly.
You know?
We also saw the Outriders. I'm talking about Square Enix in general because this is, at the end of the day, Crystal Dynamics is owned by Square Enix. Square Enix are the ones posting the losses and stuff like that. Outriders is also owned by Square Enix, and it was reported that they didn't make the money back for development on that because the owner, the People Who Can Fly studio, didn't receive any royalties to it. And the way that the contract was is that they would receive no money up to the development cost, and then they will receive profits and whatnot. So that's how we kind of know from that. That's what we assume. Now, that game made a bit of money because it was on Game Pass day one, so Xbox cut them a check. Maybe they have seen a couple of games flop now, and they said the only thing that saved us from really shit in the bed, really posting a loss, was this Xbox Game Pass deal. If we join forces with Xbox in this, then we're going to have favorable treatment for other games in the future. Maybe they'll give us more of these deals, which will kind of ensure some revenue go into our games. And then we can concentrate on making these games good and hopefully having one that really pops off, and then we can make more money and go even further. That's the thinking that I have here. They're actually more looking at it as, okay, we can get into the initiative and we could possibly have our name on a quadruple A game. But also, we're in bed with Microsoft. We're friends. We're doing this. They're more likely to give us deals for future games that go to Game Pass and help offset some of the cost of development so they don't get another Marvel Avengers, so they don't get another game like that and another huge loss.
Do you think Crystal Dynamics desperately wants to just sort of make ends meet? Because I'm not so sure.
Oh, you mean Square Enix? Or Crystal Dynamics? Crystal Dynamics is the developer and Square Enix is the thing. I'm thinking more Square Enix in general. But I don't think they are trying to make ends meet. Because they did make Final Fantasy. And
well, that's what I was going to say, is because that's an actual AAA.
Yeah.
Not quadruple, weirdly enough.
And
just
it made
a triple.
them a ton of money as well.
And Part 2's coming out.
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of other, like, look, they know Final Fantasy is their thing. They know it prints money. They've seen remakes work. There are at least 2 other remakes that are totally worth doing without 9, which is the best game they ever made. I don't think they need the Xbox deal, and I don't think they need to risk another Marvel Avengers or just a game that doesn't do good, you know, when they are printing money with that. And just look, if they really need cash, make another Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it's a good point.
You know, I want you out of numbers, start using letters.
Yeah.
You know, like, they made so many of those games at this point, and they all print money.
Remind. There
Right.
you go.
Like, I just don't get why you would do it that way when you have all these other games. If I saw that huge loss, I would go, okay, well, that's the thing. We don't do this anymore. Let's double down on stuff that we know works. Unless, like you say, they want to expand and maybe. But then the problem is that most Game Pass isn't making money. A lot of these games aren't really making money once they go to Game Pass, other than the check that's posted up front.
Yeah, it's proof.
I don't know. It's an odd one.
That's the way I tried to rationalize it. Is they saw it as a guaranteed check, and if they can get more of those guaranteed checks, then it will at least secure. And it could be like a businessman way of thinking of things, where it's like guaranteed money. That's what we like. We like the guaranteed money. Whereas, even though Final Fantasy, the last reported number is that they sold 5 million copies. 5 million copies. Is it 60? 60 is 300 million.
Yeah.
$300 million. All right, there's extra things that come out like Sony's cut, like stuff like that. But that covers
That's still revenue, 300 million revenue, yeah.
Covers the cost of development.
Oh, yeah.
And plus some.
Yeah.
So there's proven way to do it.
Yeah.
But they might have seen the huge loss they took on Marvel Avengers, and they were just like, oh, we can't have another one of these. Maybe. That was one of my thoughts. Another thing I wanted to point out. This whole thing, partnership with Crystal Dynamics, proves just throwing money at something doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just throwing money, because I'm sure they've thrown a ton of money into this quadruple A studio because it's supposed to be big and expensive. And it hasn't worked out. Even they've turned around and said, we need help from another person.
Are you suggesting that them spending $500 million on Halo Infinite and then showing an old build at their -- reveal proves anything like that? Because I doubt it, sir. It does seem like Microsoft's answer to things is, don't worry about quality, go for quantity. And if there's a problem, throw money at it.
Yeah.
And then in the same way, like, okay, we have this problem in code. We'll get 20 developers instead of 2 talented people. Yeah. Not that they don't have talented guys, you know, or if they do have talented guys, just throw money at some suits to manage them, you know. And what it might be from the roots of the tree up, you know. The reason that it's not sturdy is because somewhere deep down in the culture of Microsoft and their management, that they're just getting in their own. I think they're getting in their own way at every level.
I think there's evidence of that for sure. Evidence of that for sure.
So all they need to do is have no involvement in Fable, and they'll actually have a banging title probably. Also, just make Banjo-Kazooie.
Just make it, boys. Make it. That's all we want.
Yeah. Just say it's okay and leave them alone. Let them make the game.
And one final thing I wanted to point out, which is fucking mind-boggling to me. Crystal Dynamics just have a bunch of developers doing nothing. Because they have their own projects. They have their own things going on. And then they announce this code development. So what, do you guys just have a bunch of people just sitting around doing nothing and then wait for people to come along and go, hey, we want to work with someone?
So I can easily explain this one.
Go ahead, please.
You have your team and they're working on stuff. And then somebody with more money than God comes along and says, we want you to work on this project. And then you say, show me the money. And they show you the money. Right? And you go, God damn, they brought it in cash in a briefcase. Jesus Christ. Okay, guys, just pause it. Fuck it. You're on this now.
It's like you go up to Steve, massaging his shoulder. Steve. You're working at Xbox now. Go
right.
He's like, what? I'm just in the middle.
I got my own project. No, not for this price, you don't.
No, sorry, mate. Sorry.
And that is the answer to that.
Yeah.
They do have their own projects, but for the money that Microsoft will give them, those can be paused.
I was just like, okay, even if you make this partnership, they've got other shit they're working on. Where did these people come from? And I guess it's just they said move over.
The thing is, and it bugs me and worries me, is like this idea of saying, oh, we're going to make the first quadruple A title is huge talk. And it's like, the likelihood is no. Right? The likelihood is you won't. Not that it won't be a great game.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is you're going to make the best game ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know what it is, so like maybe it has to compete with, say, Fortnite and not God of War, which I actually think you'd have a better time beating Fortnite than God of War.
Yes.
Because people aren't invested in the story of Fortnite. Well, they are with characters, you know, there's no emotion really there. Why start like that?
Yeah.
Mismanagement at every level, you know, because you've set the bar so ridiculously high, higher than Halo. Right, imagine being the guys that have to take up the Halo mantle, and then you mess it up, and then for the last one you go, we're going to make a quadruple A title, and then you show Halo Infinite like what we first, like that's what they're building themselves up to be. So even if it's just a triple A title, they're going to get ridiculed. Yeah. What? Come on, guys.
Painting themselves in a corner.
They really have.
Properly have.
All they had to do was stay silent.
Yeah.
Make the game, and then come out with a good game, and people go, wow. Finally, a good game coming out, or another good game coming out from Xbox. Finally, the tide has turned, and it's not only good games on Sony, which I want to see good games on Xbox. Yeah. I want to see good games come to Game Pass and that stuff. Like that would be a good thing. Why do this to yourself? Why specifically do that? You know, why? It's like coming out and saying, okay, we've never made a game before as a company, but Insomniac, who are those guys? The guys that made Ghost of Tsushima? Come on,
guys.
Right? Sucker Punch, the Spider-Man guys, nobody's.
Exactly.
Right?
Sure.
Like, why would you start that way? How
angry are we making people?
Like, for example, is it New Haven?
Yes, Haven Studios.
They're doing the FPS, aren't they?
I don't know if they actually mentioned what they're making, but they said they're making a new game for PlayStation first.
One of those companies, I thought it was Haven, is doing the FPS. Deviation is doing the FPS. They didn't come out and go, Respawn? Who? Oh, the guys that made COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 and Apex. And nobody's. No, no. What they did was say, we got this relationship with Sony, we're making a first-person shooter. We'll see it when it comes out.
See you later, bye.
And then all it has to do is not be terrible. That's it. They've set the bar at not terrible.
Yeah.
At working.
Speaking of Haven Studios, I read this somewhere. I don't know how. I read it offhand and I was busy, so I had to go on. But apparently they're going to be at EGX. Apparently they're going to be at EGX talking about their first project. I don't think they're going to be announcing anything. But I heard also that maybe Jim Ryan's going to be there.
What?
I was like, come on, bro.
No.
I know. Okay, EGX is the biggest
European.
England.
Europe, right?
I think Gamescom's bigger than the EGX.
Yes,
but at least in the UK, it's the biggest gaming convention.
Yes.
And it's set in the biggest gaming hall that we have. Well, biggest hall that we have.
Yeah.
Comic-Con set there.
Yeah.
So I could see it kind of, but I'm like, Jim's off somewhere pretending to play Horizon Forbidden West.
Right.
Why is he coming to... And then the Haven Studios is like, do they not have a game to be making in California somewhere?
Yeah, that raises some questions for me.
If they're going to be there, you're damn right we're going to go to it.
Absolutely. We're going to check it out. By the way, we're going to be at EGX.
Yeah,
so we're doing a meetup on Saturday.
2 hours into the stream.
We're so good at this.
Yeah, next week we'll be at EGX. By the time this is posting, we'll be at EGX.
Oh god,
So not this, the next podcast. We usually post on Saturday. We'll be at EGX. So we won't be in the live chat for that one.
Yeah, get fricked. We're going to be having fun doing gaming.
Right. There you go. Anyway, that was everything I had to talk about today. Oh, sorry, there's one more thing. PlayStation 5 hit 1 million units sold in the UK. 3 months.
The PS4.
Exactly. Outpacing the PS4 by 3 months. 3 months later would be the time that PS4 hit 1 million, which shows staggering results. When I first saw it, I was like, 1 million.
That doesn't sound like a lot.
But then you think about how small the UK is in comparison to the rest of the world.
How small the UK is, how many units that actually is, the chip shortage, the pandemic, the logistics issues that have been happening in the UK.
A container takes 18 grand to send a container over.
So, pretty
impressive.
Pretty incredible. And easily on track, I think. I think they might actually smash their 22 million by March, is it?
Yeah, I think so. 22 million, 23 million, something like that by March 2022.
Yeah, I think they will probably beat that.
Especially because, personally, because I keep up with this stuff, I look at the retailers that are selling consoles and whatnot. I've seen 4 or 5 waves since we've last spoken about this, and a lot of people in our community have got a PS5 now, which is great to hear. Phil Spencer's buying PS5s for people, so you can clearly find those as well.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of PS5s.
Xbox making acquisitions. I mean, it's their competitor's product, but they're making acquisitions.
Phil Spencer's like, I'm gonna buy a PS5. Okay.
Imagine being Phil Spencer and your kid asks for a PS5.
It's like the
I literally can get you unlimited Xboxes.
It's like the superhero thing from Avengers, where like Chris Hemsworth is like, which one's your favorite superhero? Captain America. Fuck.
Yeah, if you guys don't know this, Chris Hemsworth's kid, genuinely, his favorite hero is Captain America. And there are a bunch of pictures of Chris Hemsworth taking his kid out dressed as Captain America, and every single time he spots the camera, he's like, shit.
Halloween's coming up. You know that kid wants to be Captain America again. It's like, no, do you know what, Dad? I want to be a different character this year. Hawkeye.
I think you're going to like this one, Dad. Loki.
He's just the coolest. He's the coolest of all the Asgardians.
He can shapeshift. He's not even Asgardian. He's from Jotunheim.
He's the true heir to the Asgard throne.
Right.
No, he isn't. He's made...
Absolutely.
Guys.
Yep.
That wraps up this week's episode of the True Gamer Podcast. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Bro, thank you for coming out and hanging out with me. It's really awesome. It's really cold in here.
It's freaking freezing.
We turn it on 17.
I have had my hands like under my laptop to use the heat from it to warm them up, and there's still icebergs.
The brick on the Mac charger. I've had my feet on it because I'm so fucking cold. I don't know why we don't just turn it down. It's right here. I could hit the button. I'm not gonna.
It seems really inconvenient. I'd rather suffer than go to a minor inconvenience.
Exactly. Exactly. Unprofessional. Guys, thank you for tuning in for another episode of True Game Podcast. We'll catch you all next week. Right here again, and for those of you guys that are going to see us at EGX, we'll see you there as well.
We will.
This weekend as well, there'll be another episode of the True Gamer Plus episode. If you're a patron, you get to see that at the $1 level. And we'll see you guys all in the next one, bro. See you in the next one, man.